Chapter 26:44. The Million-Blade King was stunned. The two of them broke through from the almighty realm to the invincible king realm in one day, surpassing the cultivation of others by 1 or 2,000 years. How was that possible? Even an immortal pill could not do that. No, there must be a reason. There must be a reason. The Million-Blade King tried to calm himself down. Yes, the array. They activated the array just now. It must be because of the array. Could it be that this array could provide energy to make one an invincible king? What kind of array was this? It was too scary. If there were more of them, wouldn't they be invincible? The Million-Blade King looked terrible, as if he had eaten a dead rat. Suddenly, his eyelids twitched. No, my power? He was surprised to find that his cultivation was no longer at the invincible king realm. Damn it, what was going on? He was too shocked to notice it before. But now, he realized that there was a force between heaven and earth that was suppressing him. It made his cultivation fall from the invincible king realm to the 8-star king realm. This was impossible. My cultivation is being suppressed. He finally found the reason. It turned out that it was not that the other party had become stronger, but his cultivation was suppressed. He was suppressed to the 8-star king realm. It was the effect of the array. The Million-Blade King instantly understood. No wonder the other party dared to be so arrogant in front of him and kept provoking him. It turned out that it was to lure him in and suppress his cultivation. There was actually an array that could suppress the cultivation of an invincible king. This shocked him, but at the same time, he heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, it was not that the other party had become an invincible king. In this way, this dilemma could be solved. The next moment, he looked at the two of them and said coldly, "You can actually suppress my cultivation. I have to say that your means are really amazing. However, do you think that you can contend against me just because of this? Even if I have fallen to the 8-star king realm, my realm is still higher than yours. If I want to kill you, it will be a piece of cake." Indeed, in his opinion, his strength had weakened, but he was still a realm higher than the other party. The other party was just an ordinary 7-star almighty, while he was an 8-star king. In addition to his combat experience and trump cards, he had completely surpassed the other party. Therefore, he wouldn't lose this battle either. Even now, you still want to kill us? The Crimson Dragon sneered. Lin Xian's voice was also cold. I've already killed more than one late-stage 8-star king tier. So, do you have any last words? If you can tell me your plan and the mastermind behind it, I can consider giving you a quick death later. Courting death. Lin Xian's words thoroughly infuriated the Myriad Blade Monarch. Lin Xian's confident attitude made him very angry. Kill with a cold shout, the Myriad Blade King charged over with a sky full of blade lights. He was really mad. He had to kill these two despicable people in front of him. Only then would he be able to vent the hatred in his heart. Since you want to die, then don't blame me. Lin Xian's expression turned cold when he saw his opponent charging at him again. He executed the heaven-battling divine fist. The terrifying fist blasted forward, causing the entire world to tremble. A terrifying shattering sound could be heard as the sky was continuously shattered. The blade lights around the Myriad Blade Monarch were also shattered into pieces. This was the heaven-battling divine fist. Coupled with the power of the 9-yang divine body, it was extremely terrifying. Damn it, this kid's fist is so scary. The Myriad Blade Monarch's expression changed drastically. When he was an invincible king, he did not realize it. But now that his cultivation was suppressed, he realized that the other party was too strong. No one below the invincible king tier was a match for him. Damn it, there was a trace of fear in his heart. I don't believe it. I'm an invincible king. Even if my cultivation realm falls, I can definitely kill an ant. The Myriad Blade Monarch continued to hypnotize himself. His aura was getting stronger and stronger, as if it was going to break through the sky. However, there were mysterious runes between heaven and earth that firmly sealed his cultivation. He could not break through it all. Damn it, taste my venomous dragon spike. The Myriad Blade Monarch took out a treasure from his storage ring. It was a black, venomous spike that was as long as an arm. It was covered with black scales, looking extremely ferocious and terrifying. Buzz. The myriad blade monarch formed a seal and quickly activated the venomous dragon spike. The venomous dragon seemed to have come alive as it continued to grow. It turned into a black dragon that was 100 feet long and roared in the sky. Kill him. This was a heaven-grade treasure that was extremely terrifying. There was a dragon's soul sealed inside. Roar. Sure enough, after the venomous dragon spike turned into a dragon, it roared and a terrifying demonic sound rang out between heaven and earth. A pressure that came from the soul was quickly produced. Kid, go to hell. The myriad blade monarch roared with a ferocious expression. This dragon soul was a powerful demon king, and it was the soul of an invincible demon king. It was sealed inside by a saint and formed into a treasure. It was extremely terrifying. He did not believe that the other party could withstand the soul of an invincible king. Roar. After the dragon's roar, another loud and clear sound rang out between heaven and earth. This sound was several times stronger than before. Between heaven and earth, an invisible wave of air rolled, and the myriad blade monarch's body trembled. His face became terrified. Damn it! What's this sound? It's actually a dragon's roar. He did not believe that it was released by the venomous dragon spike, because the venomous dragon spike only sealed a dragon, which was worlds apart from a real dragon. A mere dragon dares to be arrogant in front of me? The crimson dragon floated in the sky, its eyes filled with disdain. It roared again, and its voice shook the 9 heavens. Damn it, it's that snake. He can actually let out a dragon's roar. The myriad blade monarch's eyes widened, and his face was filled with fear and shock. Previously, he thought that the other party was just a snake, but now it seemed that it was definitely not the case. The other party's dragon's roar was too terrifying. It was even more terrifying than an invincible king's dragon. What is the other party? Could it really be a dragon? He did not dare to imagine. Are there really dragons in this world? Other than the legend of the nest of 10,000 dragons, he had never seen a real dragon appear in this world. While the myriad blade monarch was in shock, the venomous dragon spike in the sky was also trembling nonstop. Although that soul was an invincible king, how could it compare to the crimson dragon in terms of aura and pressure? At this moment, the light on the venomous dragon spike dimmed a lot. Damn it, so what if it's a dragon? In the face of absolute strength, everything would be destroyed. The myriad blade monarch grabbed the venomous dragon spike and stabbed it out. Between heaven and earth, countless black Jiao dragons rushed out. He was really crazy. He used all his strength and poured it into the venomous dragon spike. Chapter 26:45. The sky was filled with black dragon shadows, and they roared. The entire world trembled as if it was about to fall. Humph. The Crimson Dragon used the dragon race's great divine ability to fight back. Any black dragon shadows that got close to him were all destroyed. Lin Xian was even more terrifying. He used the chaotic yin-yang steps to form yin-yang qi and walked in the void as he quickly charged over. Every black dragon phantom he encountered was blasted apart by a single punch. Boom, boom. Tens of thousands of thunderous sounds rang out, making people tremble. The terrifying collision erupted with countless rays of light. Fortunately, this was a strange space. Otherwise, the real world would have been destroyed long ago. Whoosh! Lin Xian finally reached the front. He looked at the thousand-blade king with a cold smile. Countless sword chi exploded from his body. He was like a sword god, fighting against the blade light. The thousand-blade king's expression changed when he felt the sword chi. So terrifying. The sword chi was too sharp. It even surpassed the blade light that he had cultivated for 1,000 or 2,000 years. He found it hard to believe. When he saw the sword god's gaze, his heart trembled. What kind of gaze was that? It was like an emperor looking down on the world. Heaven battling divine fist, one punch to break the sky. Lin Xian waved his fist, and the terrifying fist emitted light. Countless sword chi turned into mysterious runes and fell together with Lin Xian's movements. This punch had the power to shatter the starry sky and swallow mountains and rivers. This was the 9 Yang divine body. It was too terrifying. It was the purest Yang divine body. The thousand Blade King's body trembled. At this moment, It was as if he had seen an emperor. He could not help but want to kneel down. Damn it! Hold it in. The blade light exploded from within the 1,000-Blade King's body and stopped him from having such thoughts. His body was covered in cold sweat. The sword god was too terrifying. Kill! He roared and tried to stay awake. He waved the venomous dragon spike and stabbed out crazily. Venomous dragon breaks the sky. Boom! The two collided. The sky collapsed and the earth cracked, destroying everything. Roar! A miserable cry rang out. The soul of the black serpent dragon let out a miserable cry. Even the shadow of the black dragon kept tumbling in the air. The venom dragon spike was sent flying, and the myriad Blade King was sent flying. He couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. His hair was disheveled, and his armor was dyed red with blood. His face was extremely pale, and he was in an extremely sorry state. Damn it! Damn it! The myriad Blade King was so angry that he vomited blood. The myriad Blade King was so angry that his entire body was trembling. However, not long after, he revealed a sinister smile. That was because he discovered that there were no cracks on his body, nor were his bones shattered. This scene made him go wild with joy. It seemed that only his cultivation was suppressed, but his life rating could not be suppressed. In other words, his body was still that of an invincible king. Thinking of this, he smiled proudly. Ha 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 ha. Brat, do you think you can win by suppressing my cultivation? With your strength, you won't be able to break through my defense. I can't break through your defense? So what? Today, I'm going to beat you up. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He waved his hand and said, Ruse along, attack together. Torture him to death. Ha 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 ha. Ben Huang can't wait any longer. When the Crimson Dragon heard this, it also roared excitedly. With a swing of its dragon tail, it rushed forward and took a palm from Lin Xian. The myriad Blade King could have dodged this move. However, at the same time, Lin Xian's fist came crashing over. He had seen the power of the other party's fist, so of course, he did not dare to be careless. Therefore, he could only take Lin Xian's fist head-on. At the same time, he kept dodging. Bang! Slap! Although he blocked Lin Xian's fist, he was slapped by the Crimson Dragon. Immediately, his body spun in the air and flew backward. The Crimson Dragon kept swinging its hand. Damn it! Old Jia's skin is too thick. Ben Huang's hand hurt from the slap. Bang! The myriad Blade King had just stood up. When he heard that, he spat out a mouthful of blood. His entire body was trembling with anger. Ah, damn it! I'm going to kill you. However, what welcomed him was Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon's crazy attacks. The two of them knew that they could not break the other party's defense, so they directly slapped the other party's face. They wanted to ruthlessly slap the other party's face. Sure enough, not long after, the myriad Blade King's face was slapped more than a dozen times. Every slap made a deafening sound. However, his life level was extremely high, so he would not be injured at all. Therefore, after more than a dozen slaps, his face was incomparably red, like a pig's liver. Of course, it was not because he was beaten, but because he was angry. He was so angry that he was about to vomit blood. He felt that his lungs were about to explode. Damn it, this old thing's skin is too thick. If I can't use my hands, I'll just use my feet to hit him. Lin Xian changed his strategy. The Crimson Dragon also directly swung its dragon tail and whipped it at the other party. Lin Xian raised his leg and kicked the other party. Bang, bang, bang. From the beginning to the end, the myriad Blade King was suppressed by the two of them. If others saw this scene, they would probably be scared to death. Because this was an invincible king. Two 7-star mighty figures were actually beating up an invincible king. No matter how one looked at it, it was like a dream. Go to hell. The myriad Blade King was finally angry. He took out a broken treasure. This was a broken treasure of a sage. As soon as it appeared, the pressure of a sage was overwhelming, and it directly forced Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon to retreat. The broken treasure box floated beside the myriad Blade King. The myriad Blade King's eyes were red, and he kept panting. I must tear you into pieces. Not only the two of you, but I won't let go of anyone related to the two of you. I want to kill all of them. He screamed like a madman. TSK, you think you can scare us with a mere sage's fragment? The Crimson Dragon snorted coldly. He directly took out a broken treasure pagoda. Lin Xian also took out the sage's handbone. Sage's fragments, and there were 2 of them. The Myriad Blade King was extremely shocked, and his face instantly turned green. Damn it, the other party's foundation is too rich. 2 7-star mighty figures actually have something like a sage's fragment? One had to know that not every invincible king would have a sage's fragment. It could be said that it was very precious. But the other party took out 2 in an instant. How was he going to fight? Sure enough, his fragment was directly suppressed in the void and could not reflect at all. Lin Xian took out Flower Protector again, and the corners of his mouth curled up into a cold smile. Do you really think that I can't break your defense? He gently shook the bell, and a demonic sound turned into a terrifying sound wave sword chi that rushed forward. Bang! Poof! The Myriad Blade King struck out countless blade lights to resist it, but soon he was sent flying. The armor on his body was damaged. Damn it! What is this? Flower Protector. Could it be the legendary great weapon, Flower Protector? He was extremely terrified. The other party even has such an ancient weapon? Damn it! Galaxy Seal. The Myriad Blade King quickly formed a seal, and the blade lights in the sky revolved around his hand, forming a galaxy. At this moment, the Myriad Blade King's power was displayed. Like the Galaxy War King, he was extraordinary. Chapter 26:46. He pushed his palm forward, pushing the entire Milky Way to resist the sound wave attack. With a loud clang, an earth-shattering collision sound was heard. He blocked the wave of attack. Looking at this scene, the Thousand-Blade King heaved a sigh of relief. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. What a terrifying seal. As expected of an invincible king. Even if his cultivation was suppressed, he was still so powerful. One should know that an ordinary late-stage 8-star powerhouse would have been killed by him. The other party could hold on for so long. It could be said that he definitely had the foundation and combat experience of an invincible king. However, the other party was no longer an invincible king. Therefore, he still had a way to kill the other party. Sure enough, in the next moment, he tore open the seal of the Flower Protector. Instantly, the terrifying sound wave sword chi became even more terrifying. Boom, boom, boom. Countless black holes appeared in the Milky Way diagram in the sky, and those Milky Ways became dim. Damn it, the power became stronger again. The Thousand-Blade King kept retreating. The armor on his body was directly penetrated, and a few bloody holes appeared. Blood flowed out. Finally, under the attack of the Flower Protector, he was finally injured. This scene caused him to be terrified. It seemed that the other party had the ability to kill him. This made him feel a strong sense of fear. He turned around and wanted to escape. As long as he left this array, as long as he left this strange spirit boat and appeared in the real world outside, he would still be an invincible king. He would still be an invincible existence. He would no longer be afraid of the other party. Therefore, he had to leave this place quickly. The saber slashed out, tearing apart heaven and earth. A huge black hole appeared. The Thousand-Blade King's body swayed and flew in. He wanted to leave this space. But soon, he was blasted out by a punch. Now, you still want to run? From the moment you stepped into this formation, your fate has already been judged. This is the place where you will perish. Lin Xian's body emitted thousands of rays of light, and his cold voice sounded. Lin Xian threw the Flower Protector to the Crimson Dragon, letting him control the Flower Protector to kill the Thousand-Blade King. As for himself, he pulled out the ancient Dragon Abyss Sword. His entire body was surrounded by sword light, and he rushed over like a god of death. Seeing that the other party had abandoned Flower Protector and dared to attack him, the Myriad Blade King also roared crazily. Without Flower Protector, he wasn't afraid of them. Therefore, in the next moment, he pointed his finger forward. Blade God's finger. Then, he stretched out a finger, which contained a supreme profound intent. Together with the saber light that filled the sky, it blasted forward. Boom. This finger attack was too terrifying. It was even more terrifying than the saber light unleashed by the thousand saber monarch. Clearly, this was a finger formed from the essence of countless saber lights. Go to hell, brat. The myriad blade king revealed a ferocious expression once again. His opponent's physical defense was not as good as his. If his opponent was hit by his finger of the saber god, both body and soul would be destroyed. Ninefold Thunder Sword. The current Lin Xian was still able to use the third stage of the Ninefold Thunder Sword. Along with his sword light, a sea of lightning surged. Streaks of lightning sword chi transformed into lightning dragons that roared incessantly. It dashed through the void and charged towards the saber god's finger. Crack! The incomparably terrifying and extremely sharp divine saber finger was actually cut off with a single slash. The saber god's finger was cut off. The myriad blade king's finger was also broken, and it was strangely deformed. He grunted and was pushed back. He did not care about the wound on his finger. What shocked him more was that his opponent's strength and sword chi could actually break his saber god's finger. It was too terrifying. If his opponent had broken it with the flower protector, he could still accept it. After all, the flower protector was an ancient weapon. It had killed many terrifying experts. But now, his opponent had broken his saber god's finger with just his own strength? Could it be that his opponent had reached such a terrifying stage? Are you very powerful? You relied on the strength of an invincible king to chase after me. Do you really think you can kill me? You only relied on your cultivation of over 2,000 years. If you were at the same cultivation level as me, I could kill you with a single slash. Therefore, in front of me, you have no right to be arrogant. If I had lived for 2,000 years, I would have become a sage long ago. I could kill you with a single slap. Moreover, you are not an invincible king now. Do you think you can still fight against me now? Lin Xian's voice was cold. Damn, brat, don't be complacent. Do you think you can kill me just because you broke one of my fingers? You are too naive. My trump card is not something you can imagine. The Thousand Saber King roared crazily. Being repeatedly slapped in the face by a junior, this feeling was extremely unpleasant. Not only was he unhappy, he was about to go crazy from anger. Aunt, if I was in my full state, I could kill you in one move. The Thousand Saber King was filled with hatred. The biggest mistake in his life was to enter the other party's spirit boat. Aunt? Lin Xian sneered. The 9-layered thunder sword danced crazily. Behind him, 3 huge thunder swords rushed forward. The power of the great dragon sword spirit, coupled with the sky-high price sword, plus the 5 seals of the ancient dragon abyss sword. That power was extremely terrifying. The Thousand Saber King resisted with difficulty and kept retreating. Lin Xian, on the other hand, shifted his position. In the end, he descended from the sky like a god and kicked the Million Blades monarch in the stomach with 1 foot. This kick not only contained the power of the 9-yang divine body, there was also the shadow of a dragon on the sole of his foot. 2 powerful forces collided with each other. Boom! The other party's armor shattered. The Thousand Saber King's body smashed into the ground like a meteor. Puff! The Thousand Saber King kept vomiting blood as he roared crazily. Lin Xian waved his 5 fingers. The 5 elements sword technique formed the 5 elements seal and directly enveloped the Thousand Saber King, suppressing him. Humph! After that, Lin Xian raised his foot and stepped on the Thousand Saber King's head. I am an ant? Then now that I am stepping on your head, what are you? Trash among the ants? Lin Xian revealed a cold smile. Time was indeed a good thing. It could allow some trash to use the advantage of time to climb to a high position. But in the end, trash was still trash. When he lost the power of time, in front of a peerless genius, he could not withstand a single blow. You are just a trash who took advantage of time, and you dare to be arrogant in front of me. Lin Xian's voice was abnormally cold. It was like a cold sword piercing into the Thousand Saber King's heart. He was despised? He was actually despised by the other party. Moreover, he was called trash by the other party. The Thousand Saber King's lungs were about to explode from anger. That's right, he was about to explode from anger. The blood in his body was tumbling, and he had suffered serious internal injuries. There was no other way. He had already lived for more than 2,000 years and had become an invincible king. It could be said that he was laughing at the same price. Back then, when he was young, he was also a shocking genius. His path was smooth sailing, and he became an invincible king. But now, he was actually being despised by a kid in his 20s. He was called trash. How could he endure this? Chapter 26:47. Kid, you've become so eloquent. You can't kill me. As long as I leave this spiritual boat, it will be your death. The Thousand Blade King's voice was cold. His eyes were like two peerless heavenly blades as he stared at Lin Xian. Do you think you can survive today? The dark red divine dragon also snorted coldly. He activated Flower Protector and charged forward. Boom, boom, boom. The Thousand Blade King looked like he was struck by lightning as a few more bloody holes appeared on his body. However, at this time, a mysterious heavenly blade diagram formed on his body. He quickly rose into the air and fought against Flower Protector. Do you really think I don't have any more trump cards? Flower Protector is powerful, but with your strength, you can't unleash its power. That's why you're ants. You don't even know how to use the treasure in your hands. The Thousand Blade King laughed maniacally again. Without Flower Protector, how could he kill him? At most, he could humiliate him. He would definitely get his revenge. Do you think I can't kill you without Flower Protector? Lin Xian waved his hand and recalled the Saint's Handbone to suppress the Thousand Blade King to prevent him from escaping. As for the Saint's Fragment, he could use the Pagoda Fragment to block it. The Saint's Fragment? Seeing this scene, the Myriad Blade King was also extremely frightened. If his opponent used the Saint's Fragment, he could really threaten him. However, he wouldn't just sit there and wait for death. He snorted coldly as tens of thousands of rays of light shot into the sky. The Thousand Blade Domain also appeared as he tried to break free from the Five Elements seal. However, Lin Xian used the Saint's Handbone to suppress the Scimitar Domain, so the Thousand Blade King couldn't escape at all. Buzz. With a flash of light, Lin Xian unlocked the sixth seal on the ancient dragon Abyss Sword. A terrifying sword light shot into the sky. Feeling this sword light, the Crimson Dragon spat out saliva. The Thousand Blade King was also shocked. His opponent, Amir Almighty, was able to unleash such sword chi. It was indeed surprising. He snorted coldly. You want to kill me with this little bit of sword chi? You can try. You probably can't even break through my defense. Bang! Without saying a word, the sword slashed towards his neck. Instantly, a terrifying vibration sounded. The 10,000 Blade King was in so much pain that he kept rolling on the ground. The 10,000 Blade Domain emitted a cold light, but it was suppressed by the Saint's Handbone. Lin Xian did not use any bone attacks. Instead, he used all his strength to suppress his opponent. He knew that the trump cards of a peerless realm cultivator were extremely terrifying. He had to suppress his opponent in order to kill him. Buzz, the ancient dragon Abyss Sword, which had its 6 seals removed, emitted a resplendent light. As Lin Xian swung his arm, it ruthlessly slashed forward. With a clang, the sword landed on the opponent's head, emitting a thunderous sound. The flying spark sword pierced through the void. Countless large cracks appeared in the surrounding space. This sword was extremely terrifying. The Myriad Blade King was also struck until he saw stars and felt dizzy. However, his head did not split open. There was only a shallow scar on his head. Brat, I've said it before, it's useless. You can't break through my defense at all. The Myriad Blade King revealed a ferocious expression. His eyes were bloodshot like a demon. No matter what you did to me today, when I catch you, I'll return it 10 times, 100 times. I'll let you taste the consequences of offending me. Damn it, old man, your skin is so thick. Lin Xian also frowned. Even the 6 seals could not hurt his opponent. This peerless realm cultivator's defense was truly terrifying. It seemed that he could only use the great dragon sword soul. Lin Xian sighed. His expression became extremely solemn. Within his body, a dragon's roar could be heard. Hearing this sound, the Myriad Blade King's expression changed. Damn it, dragon's roar. How could this guy use dragon's roar? Previously, he was already shocked by the Crimson Dragon's roar. However, he did not expect that this human brat in front of him could also use Dragon's roar. What was going on? Could it be that the other party was not human? At this moment, he was indeed stunned. However, what made him even more shocked was yet to come. Because in front of Lin Xian, a sword shadow appeared. The dragon-like sword shadow was very mysterious and emitted a monstrous killing intent. The moment it appeared, the myriad Blade King's body turned cold, as if he had fallen into a 10,000-year-old ice cave. Damn it! What was that sword shadow? Finally, fear appeared in his eyes, because he felt that his life was in danger. How could there be such a terrifying thing in his opponent's body? Seeing the other party's frightened eyes, Lin Xian revealed a cold smile. What? Now you still think that I can't kill you? Damn brat! How dare you attack me? The myriad Blade King screamed. He did feel that his life was in danger. How about this? The two of us discuss. You let me go, and from now on, I won't attack you anymore. How about it? He was really afraid and began to negotiate with the other party. Now you want to negotiate with me? When you were chasing me before, did you think of negotiating with me? A dignified, peerless realm cultivator shamelessly chased after a rising star like me. Don't you feel embarrassed? Now you want to negotiate? Too late. Today will be the day of your death. Lin Xian sneered, and the killing intent on his body became more and more intense. The dragon-shaped sword shadow in front of him bloomed with a primordial power. Humph, brat. I admit that you have many trump cards, but if you really want to kill me, it won't be that easy. The myriad Blade King roared, and a mysterious blade pattern appeared on his body. It seemed that he wanted to counterattack. Wong. Lin Xian didn't give him a chance at all. He grabbed the dragon-shaped sword shadow and slashed at the other party's head. Pong. The dragon's roar and the sword's cry rang out, and a peerless sword light filled the sky, piercing through all directions. This sword was incomparably terrifying. Crack. The myriad Blade King screamed miserably, and blood burst out, dyeing the surrounding void red. Lin Xian frowned. He realized that this sword had indeed injured the other party. However, it didn't directly split open the other party's head. It only split open a third of the head. The physique of an peerless realm cultivator was actually this strong. Lin Xian was shocked. It seemed that he had underestimated an peerless realm cultivator. Fortunately, he had many trump cards. Otherwise, the consequences of rashly starting a fight with an peerless realm cultivator would be terrifying. Brat, I want you dead. The myriad Blade King crazily burned his spiritual energy. At this moment, he was really going all out. Otherwise, his body would really be split open. Boom, boom. Terrifying power surged out, and his split-open head quickly healed. At the same time, it formed a huge rebound force that acted on the ancient dragon abyss sword. The ancient sword trembled, and countless sword chi were emitted. Lin Xian's arm was also numb from the shock. However, his eyes also burst out with a cold light. Even now, he still wanted to resist. Pong. He activated the great dragon sword soul with all his might, and the dragon-shaped sword shadow exploded with unparalleled power. Sword after sword, Lin Xian crazily attacked, and finally, the myriad Blade King was split in half. The myriad Blade King crazily screamed. As an peerless realm cultivator, so what if he was split in half? As long as a small part was intact, he could recover. Boom. His body wanted to quickly heal, but not long later, he screamed in horror. Chapter 26:48. Damn it. How is that possible? It couldn't heal. His body couldn't heal at all. There was a sharp sword aura left on the sword mark that he couldn't erase. What kind of sword aura was that? What kind of sword technique was that? What was that sword shadow? Why was it more powerful than his 2,000 years of sword light? He didn't know. The Thousand Blade King was in despair. Did he really have to give up his body? The next moment, he stared at Lin Xian and revealed a sinister smile. Kid, you actually made me lose my body. I won't let you go. However, I'll enjoy your body. There was a sinister aura in his voice. The Thousand Blade King knew how terrifying an invincible king's body was. His defense was terrifying. If the other party didn't have such a mysterious sword shadow, he wouldn't be able to break through his defense. Not only that, the blood contained endless power. Therefore, the Thousand-Blade King didn't want to give up his body unless it was a last resort. But now, he was seriously injured. Moreover, although the other party was young and only a 7-star powerhouse, he had too many secrets. If he could snatch the other party's body, it wouldn't take him a few years to become an invincible king again. More importantly, his body couldn't heal at all, and his life would be threatened. Therefore, the Thousand-Blade King decided to go all out. His soul rushed out of his body and turned into a torrent, rushing toward Lin Xian. "Kid, go to hell." He flashed a ferocious smile and disappeared into Lin Xian's head in an instant. Not good. Soul possession? The Crimson Dragon was shocked. He didn't expect the other party to be so decisive. He abandoned the invincible king's body and wanted to possess Lin Xian's body. However, his expression was very strange. Lin Xian's soul power was very powerful, and he had the heavenly secret divine eyes. It wasn't weaker than an invincible king's soul. However, the other party was also an invincible king. He was probably very terrifying. Therefore, he didn't know what the final result would be. He couldn't help. The battle of souls was very dangerous, and it was in Lin Xian's mind. He could only wait at the side. This kid should be fine, right? The Crimson Dragon had nothing to do, so it could only use Flower Protector to completely shatter Million Blade King's body. At the same time, he used the dragon race's great ability to absorb the surrounding blood. This was the blood of an invincible king, and the energy it contained was extremely terrifying. While the Crimson Dragon was on the move, Lin Xian was in great danger. He never expected that the other party would actually dare to seize his body. In an instant, a translucent figure appeared in his mind amidst the endless chaos. It was the Million Blade King. He looked around and laughed loudly. "Brat, get the hell out here. Once I destroy your soul, your body will be mine. Don't worry, I will make good use of your body and become a saint." He could see that the other party had great potential. It would not be difficult for him to become an invincible king. He could even become a saint. This made him very excited. One had to know that even though he had become an undefeatable king a long time ago, it was extremely difficult for him to take another step forward. However, with this body, things were different. "Humph, you want to seize my soul? You really don't know what's good for you." Lin Xian sneered. In the next moment, a pair of golden eyes slowly appeared in the endless void. It was like the eyes of a god looking down. "Damn it, what is this thing?" Million Blade King was shocked, and his face became extremely ugly. He was now in his soul state, and ordinary attacks really could not hurt him. However, the pair of golden eyes in front of him had a mysterious power. It was a great threat to him. In fact, this threat was not weaker than the dragon-shaped sword shadow. Damn it! Why does this brat have so many secrets in his body? In addition to the sword shadow, there was also a pair of golden eyes. What kind of eyes are these? Million Blade King was about to go crazy. However, since he had already entered, he would not let this go. He formed a seal with his palms and launched a soul attack. Soul Harvest. Many soul blades appeared on his body. There were a total of 9 of them, and they spun quickly, attacking Lin Xian's soul. In his opinion, no matter how strong the other party was, so what if he had many trump cards? The two of them were not on the same level at all. He was an invincible king, and the other party was only a 7-star almighty. There was a real gap in the soul between the two of them. He could easily crush the other party and destroy the other party's soul. Ha 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 ha. Go to hell. The 9 soul blades spun quickly and crazily. However, they suddenly burst into flames in midair. They burned fiercely. These soul blades were evolved from the soul of the Million Blade King. Once they were burned, the Million Blade King's soul directly screamed. He was rolling in midair. He was extremely frightened. Damn it! How is this possible? How can he hurt me? He was too shocked. Why is the other party's soul so strange? You don't know what's good for you. Go to hell. Lin Xian's voice was cold, and his pair of golden eyes looked down on all living things. In his left eye, golden runes spun, and the floating light's secret technique was activated instantly. Buzz, the million-blade king's soul, was pulled into a strange space. This space was not big, and it was just a small black room. The dim light flickered uncertainly. The million-blade king was surprised to find that his whole body was hanging in the half-red room. His 4 limbs were bound by soul chains, and he could not move at all. In front of him, there was a pair of invisible hands controlling all kinds of weapons and stabbing at his body crazily. Damn it, soul space. You can actually create a soul space. He was simply too shocked. This was an extremely terrifying secret soul technique. You know quite a lot. Since this is the case, I don't need to explain too much. This is my floating light space. In here, a moment outside is equivalent to 100 years here. From now on, you will receive 100 years of 10,000 arrows piercing your heart. Puff, 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 a miserable sound rang out. The million-blade king screamed again and again, but he could not struggle at all, because this was not a real injury, but an illusion. It was an illusion that he could not resist. However, this pain was real. It could be said that it was extremely strange. A moment was 100 years. This time, the million-blade king could be said to be incomparably miserable. The outside world paused for 3 seconds. In other words, the million-blade king endured 300 years of 10,000 arrows piercing his heart. Then, a soul flame jumped out from the right eye of the golden eye in the sky. Soul burning. Huffa! The million-blade king, who had just come out of the illusion space, screamed again. This time, he screamed even more miserably, because this was not an illusion, but a soul attack. It directly ignited his soul. He wanted to extinguish it, but he could not do so. In the end, he turned into nothingness amidst the soul flames that filled the sky. He was completely killed and disappeared. With his soul destroyed, the million-blade king could no longer revive. An invincible king, who stood at the peak of the continent, was killed by a 7-star almighty, by a young genius. If this news spread out, it would probably shock the entire continent. Chapter 26:49. Lin Xian slowly exhaled. His face was pale as he rubbed his head. This battle was not easy for him at all. He had used up a lot of his soul power, and he did not have much spiritual power left in his body. At this moment, he had used up all his trump cards. He had no choice. His opponent was an invincible king, the most powerful existence in the king competition. It was not easy to kill such a person, but in the end, he succeeded. Kid, you're awake. Seeing Lin Xian's body move, the Crimson Dragon also flew over. Are you all right? Where's that old bastard? I've killed him. From now on, there's no king of 10,000 blades. Is he dead? That's great. The Crimson Dragon was also excited. No matter how arrogant he was, he's finally dead. In that case, even if we encounter an invincible king in the future, we won't have to be afraid. Just suppress him. Activate the array formation, suppress his cultivation, and destroy him. The Crimson Dragon was too excited. That's definitely a super powerful trump card. One had to know that their current strength was not enough to compete with an invincible king. However, if their cultivation was suppressed, they would be able to kill him. The corner of Lin Xian's mouth twitched. How could it be that easy? I've used up a quarter of my resources in one go. If a few more invincible kings appear, I won't have any resources left. He shook his head. He did not want to use that unless it was absolutely necessary. Speaking of resources, his eyes suddenly lit up. That guy's storage ring? It's here. Let's see what treasures are inside. Lin Xian took it and probed it, but he was soon ejected. That was because there was a protective seal on the storage ring. It belonged to an invincible king. Imph! I've already killed the king of 10,000 blades, let alone a mere seal. Lin Xian snorted coldly. A piercing sword light burst out from his eyes and directly pierced through the seal. In the next moment, his soul probed in. Then, he exclaimed in surprise. Wow, I've struck gold. He was too excited because this storage ring was truly a huge treasure trove. Even he was dazzled by it. The Crimson Dragon's soul also probed inside. In the next moment, he exclaimed, Damn! Is this the wealth of an unrivaled king? That was way too powerful. Damn it. Now all I want to do is rob invincible kings. He also cried out in surprise. Previously, they had killed many peerless almighties. Among them, the Crimson Dragon was getting more and more picky. He was only interested in the storage rings of the 4 great warlords. However, compared to an invincible king, the 4 war monarchs were nothing. Even if the items in the 4 great kings' rings were added together, they wouldn't have half of what this invincible king had. Lin Xian was even more delighted. This storage ring directly replenished a quarter of the resources he had used. Moreover, it had given him a lot more. He did a quick calculation and found that the entire ring of holding was equivalent to 1/3 of his total resources. Needless to say, it really made him shocked and excited. It seemed that it was not impossible to use this method to kill invincible kings in the future. Only a quarter of it was consumed, and the harvest was even greater. This was definitely a profitable business. Of course, this was just a thought. He wouldn't casually provoke an ordinary invincible king. However, if someone like the Million-Blade Monarch came to kill him, he wouldn't hold back. After removing the formation, Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon once again landed on the Black Earth. The two of them didn't go out, but instead sat cross-legged and cultivated. While Lin Xian was in the process of killing the Million-Blade Monarch soul, the Crimson Dragon had already used the Pagoda Fragment to collect the Million-Blade Monarch's Saint Fragment. This was another huge treasure. They now had 3 Saint Fragments in their hands, and many Heaven-tier treasures, especially the Million-Blade Monarch's blue longsword, which was a medium-grade Heaven-tier treasure. With so many treasures in hand, an Hong mystical dragon was pleasantly surprised. He already had an idea. He was prepared to use these treasures and the Saint Fragment to form a super powerful killing formation. A killing formation formed by a deity fragment and a Heaven-tier treasure would definitely be terrifying to the extreme. It might even be able to kill invincible kings. Thinking of this, he was very excited. He had to implement this idea. On the other side, Lin Xian began to swallow all kinds of treasures to quickly recover his strength. In fact, while Lin Xian was fighting with the Million-Blade Monarch, on the other side, a door opened in the sky. A few figures descended. They were the elites of the Immortal Palace. This time, there were 2 protectors. The Great Protector, the 6 protectors, and a figure. It was a woman in a black dress, and her face was covered by a black veil. However, the aura on her body wasn't any weaker than the 2 protectors. Obviously, she was also an invincible king. As soon as the 3 of them descended, their gazes swept across all directions. Soon, they all frowned. Sure enough, someone had sealed off this area. Let's do it, and send a message to the Yi family. The Great Protector said in a deep voice. The 6 protectors took out exquisite artifacts and began to prepare to send the message. The appearance of these 3 people also attracted the attention of the mysterious forces. Oh no, an invincible king has appeared. In the sky, exclamations could be heard. Soon, in a certain mountain peak, a few mysterious people in black robes quickly moved out. These 3 people were extremely terrifying. They tore through the void and charged out. These were 3 invincible kings. Soon, they discovered the Great Protector and the others. With a furious roar, they directly attacked without saying anything. Buzz, a long sword streaked across the sky, emitting an aura that made people tremble. Countless sword lights pierced through the void and slashed downwards. The scene was extremely terrifying. Another person formed a seal with his palm, forming a mountain and river that slammed down from the sky. The last person opened his mouth and spat out a black sea that enveloped the Great Protector and the others. As soon as they attacked, the 3 of them were going for the kill. Obviously, they wouldn't give the other party any chance. The other party's 3 invincible kings had come here for no reason. It was obviously related to the Yi family. They would definitely not let the Yi family have any reaction. Old 6, send the message. Little Wu and I will fight against them. The Great Protector took a step forward and took out a red spear. With a thrust of the spear, the sword lights that filled the sky instantly shattered. The terrifying Black Sea was also torn apart. The Great Protector charged towards the 2 invincible kings alone. The woman in the black dress also stretched out her jade-like hand and struck out with a mysterious palm technique. She fought against the black-robed man who used the seal of mountains and rivers, courting death. The two invincible kings were furious. The other party wanted to fight the two of them alone? What a joke. They were all invincible kings. How dare he fight the two of them alone? The two of them revealed sinister smiles and decided to use the fiercest method to kill the other party. One of them summoned a black ocean, which transformed into terrifying demonic beasts. Its huge body stood up from the sea, emitting a monstrous, murderous aura. It pounced towards the Great Protector. The other person's sword light was even more piercing, as if it was a peerless immortal light. Chapter 2650. The Great Protector's expression was cold. With a cold snort, the red spear in his hand erupted with endless blood light. His aura also erupted from his body. He was like a supreme divine king, sweeping in all directions. Boom, boom, boom. After an intense battle, the Great Protector was actually not at a disadvantage. This made the two black-robed men's faces full of shock. Damn it! The third black-robed man was also stunned. Who was this person? How could she be so strong? He separated a wisp of his soul and looked to the side. Humph! A cold voice sounded. You should be worried about yourself. Countless runes flickered in the black-robed woman's palm, forming a white jade pagoda that directly suppressed down. With a bang, the opponent was sent flying. Damn it! The black-robed man roared, bringing the mountains and rivers with him as he charged over again. The battle between the two was extremely terrifying. Later on, the six protectors activated a terrifying forbidden artifact and began to send news to the Yi family. The Yi family was an ancient family, an emperor family. They ruled countless territories, and no one dared to provoke them. The place they were in had huge spirit veins surrounded by spirit mountains, and spirit springs gushed out. It could be said to be a paradise on earth. At this moment, in the sky above the Yi family, space suddenly split open. Runes interweaved and covered the sky. Seeing this scene, the Yi family's elders rushed into the sky. Who dares to behave atrociously in my Yi family? Following this voice, 8 elders appeared in the sky. Their auras were sharp. In the mountains and rivers below the Yi family, countless formations flickered. It was clear that the situation was not right. They would immediately activate the Great Protector formation and attack. The Yi family's disciples and martial artists also raised their heads and discussed spiritedly. Someone actually dared to act recklessly in my Yi family? What was going on? Where did the big crack come from? These people were discussing, but in the crack, countless runes interweaved, and a voice sounded. Yi family's friend, there is no need to panic. I am Immortal Palace's protector. This time, Immortal Palace's master came to Eastern Wasteland and discovered that your Yi family's sacred body, Yi Wudao, is being chased by a mysterious force. Therefore, we hurried over to deliver the news. What? Wudao is being chased? Hearing this, the Yi family's elders were stunned. Their eyes were filled with vigilance. You say you are from Immortal Palace. How do you prove it? Besides, who dares to chase after our Wudao? They didn't quite believe it. Believe it or not, you'll know once you get out. The area within a radius of a few million miles around the Yi residence had already been sealed off. No news could be transmitted over. We used Immortal Palace's restricted artifact, using tremendous magical force to tear open space and enter. What? An undamaged holy weapon was directly revived by the joint efforts of the elders. A terrifying pressure enveloped a radius of millions of li. At this moment, the entire sky was illuminated, and the light spread out for millions of li. The martial artists within millions of li raised their heads at this moment, their faces filled with fear. Heavens, what was going on? Someone used a holy weapon. Who was it? Nonsense, it had to be the Yi clan. The martial artists in the nearby cities looked at the resplendent light in the sky and trembled. The Yi clan had used a holy weapon? Why? Were they going to start another war? No one knew. These people didn't know about Leaf Dao Denier. Furthermore, no one was idle enough to go to the Yi clan's territory. Buzz. Just as they were discussing excitedly, Another ray of light exploded in the sky. A purple saber light appeared in the sky, bringing with it divine lightning. In an instant, it illuminated millions of Li heavens. It's another saint weapon that's in perfect condition. What was going on with the Yi clan? Boom. A green hammer floated up and down. It was also incomparably terrifying. A third holy weapon. Everyone was stunned. Many people directly sat on the ground. 3 undamaged holy weapons had been revived, forming a triangle that suppressed the heavens and the earth. A terrifying holy aura swept through the world. At this moment, the mysterious black-robed men's expressions changed. Not good. The Yi clan still found out. Damn it. You actually sent a message. The black-robed men who were fighting with the Supreme Protector roared. They didn't expect the other party to be so powerful. Chapter 26:51. Damn it. How did they do it? The group was completely stunned. After all, they had set up an ancient restrictive spell formation, which was extremely terrifying. Ordinary methods wouldn't have been able to transmit any information. And yet, the 3 people in front of them had actually been able to transmit information to the Yi clan. That was completely beyond their expectations. How could they possibly have known that a mortal palace had existed for a very long time, and that its origins were extremely mysterious and terrifying? Furthermore, they had used a forbidden item from a mortal palace. That was why they had been able to quickly notify the Yi clan. What do we do? The black-robed men's expressions were unsightly. Even further away, a tall figure who looked like a devil king was frowning. Had they been discovered? But we've already been delayed for a long time. I wonder if they've succeeded. I don't think so. Otherwise, we would have received the news by now. The mysterious figures next to him also shook their heads. Their expressions were very unsightly. They had been chasing Leaf Doudenier for a very long time, but had yet to succeed. Furthermore, they had already sent out many invincible kings. Was a trifling Leaf Doudenier really that difficult to kill? Have most of your people retreat. Don't fight them head-on. However, guard every stronghold that leads back to the Yi clan. If you find Leaf Doudenier, send me a message immediately. The remaining invincible kings will stay here with me. This time, we'll see what kind of power the Yi clan has. With that, a vicious smile appeared on his face. The demonic aura on his body pierced through the clouds, forming a demonic cloud that spread in all directions. In the blink of an eye, the sky for millions of kilometers turned completely dark. Were those dark clouds, or devil energy? Off in the distance, the martial artists in the cities looked up at the sky. As the sky grew darker and darker, their faces filled with terror. That was because they could sense a cold, killing intent emanating from the dark clouds. The dark clouds seemed like they were going to crush heaven and earth. Ha 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 ha. Who would have thought that you would discover us? Just as everyone was wondering what was going on, a loud laugh rang out from the horizon, rolling out in all directions like rolling thunder. When the martial artists in the distant cities heard the voice, they were so shocked that they dropped to the ground, unable to withstand the power of the voice. Not good. Who would have thought that there would be someone so terrifying among these mysterious figures? The Great Protector's expression also changed. He brought the 6 old men and the black-dressed woman, Xiao Wu, and the 3 of them quickly retreated. They did not continue fighting because their main mission this time was to inform the Yi clan. Now, they had accomplished their mission. Where was the palace master? He had to find him quickly, or else he would be in danger. The 6 protectors were extremely anxious. The Great Protector's eyes flickered. There was no rush. The palace master had an imprint of the immortal palace on his body, and we could sense it. As he spoke, he formed a seal with his palm, and a disc array appeared in front of him, flickering non-stop. In the end, he heaved a sigh of relief. It was not very far from us. It was less than 2 million miles away. Let's go and meet with the Temple Lord first. The Great Guardian waved his hand, and the 3 of them soared into the sky. However, when they had just flown 30,000 li, they were stopped. Countless black-clothed individuals descended. The ones leading the group were none other than the peerless emperors that were fighting the Great Protector and his crew. You want to leave just like that? How dare you ruin my plan? Do you think we will let you go? Capture the 3 of them and kill them. shredded into pieces. Light exploded in the sky, and the three peerless emperors roared angrily. A shocking battle erupted. It was extremely terrifying. However, this battle was ignored by the demonic clouds that filled the sky. That was because the demonic clouds were too terrifying. It was as if hell had descended from the universe, causing people to tremble. Who are you people? How dare you oppose the Yi family? Do you want to die? On the Yi family's side, an elder also roared angrily. Golden light bloomed in the sky, and the three sacred weapons erupted with incomparably terrifying light, forming a world of light that blocked the pitch-black clouds. Damn it, if anything happens to Wu Dao, the Yi family will definitely not let you off. Every single one of you who participated in this plan, every single one of your families and forces will be uprooted. The Yi family will annihilate all of you. The Yi family experts roared. They had really gone crazy, and all of them were surging with killing intent. How domineering, how arrogant the Yi family was. The mysterious voice sounded again, as expected of an emperor clan. However, this threat is useless against me. This time, Yi Wudao will definitely die. As for the rest of you, stay here obediently, and I won't touch you. Otherwise, don't blame me for starting a massacre. At this point, the dark clouds in the sky churned, and then formed ferocious heads. They were like the heads of demons, and they roared. Space shattered, and countless bolts of lightning surged. A terrifying aura descended on the world. Accompanied by those terrifying heads, the dark clouds began to spin, forming a huge vortex in a radius of 1,000,000 miles. From the vortex, a black death demonic blade appeared. Slash. With a slash, heaven and earth were split in half. Countless mountains and rivers below shattered, and the entire space cracked open, forming a crack of millions of miles that continued to spread. It was as if this slash was going to split the entire Yi family in half. How dare you attack the Yi family? You really don't know death. The Yi family elders snorted coldly, and countless figures flickered. Activate the formation. A cold voice sounded, and the Yi family patriarch also walked out. He looked at the sky with a cold expression. He gave the order, and the land of the Yi family, within a radius of millions of miles, began to flicker. At the center, the largest formation was formed, and it spread to the surrounding area. One formation after another appeared, emitting a peerless aura to resist the attacks in the sky. This was their territory. Who could break through? However, the power of this slash was still beyond their imagination. They even suspected that it was the work of a saint, because this slash had shattered countless formations, and many formations within a radius of a few million miles were shattered. However, the main formations within a radius of tens of thousands of miles were not affected. Who was this guy? How could he be so terrifying? Don't worry. No matter how terrifying he was only one person. Our Yi family has tens of millions of experts. It would be easy to kill him. They were ready to attack, but in the sky, other than the demonic figure, more than a dozen figures appeared. Each of them emitted a peerless aura. They were invincible kings, and extremely terrifying ones. Damn it, so many terrifying invincible kings. The Yi family was shocked. Although the dozen or so unrivaled kings were no threat to them, the strength that they had displayed had left them astonished. What kind of force was this? It was definitely not a small force. Which sacred ground was it? Or was it another clan of the ancients? Chapter 26:52. They didn't know that the feeling of being tricked was too unpleasant. A great battle broke out between the two sides. It was very terrifying. On the other side, Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon were recovering on the Black Earth. Suddenly, the Black Earth trembled again. The two opened their eyes. Damn it, could it be that someone came again? Their souls probed out, wanting to see who dared to kill them. Even if it was an invincible king, they would dare to fight against him this time. However, there was no one. However, wind and thunder rumbled in the surroundings, and many large cracks appeared. Terrifying energy bombarded the Black Earth. In an instant, the Black Earth flew tens of thousands of miles. Damn, what's going on? Could it be that a saint came? The Crimson Dragon was shocked. Damn it, Did the two of us attract a saint's pursuit? Hearing this, Lin Xian's eyelids twitched. Don't talk nonsense. How could such a person appear and attack us? He was also startled. The Black Earth said, actually, when the two of you were fighting the invincible king, such a situation had already happened outside. It was just that the power back then wasn't so great. Now, it seemed to be getting more and more terrifying. What exactly happened? Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon were puzzled. Indeed, they had been hiding in the Black Earth. Previously, they were fighting the Thousand-Blade King. After the battle, they resumed their cultivation. Therefore, they didn't pay attention to the situation outside. They didn't expect that the outside world was already so dangerous. It was that mysterious force that was fighting with the Yi family. The Yi family had many experts with intact saint weapons. However, they didn't expect that this mysterious force was so terrifying. There were also many terrifying invincible kings. Moreover, one of them was very terrifying. Did you see the dark clouds above your head? It was summoned by that person. It was too powerful. It wasn't weaker than a saint weapon. Damn! Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon finally saw the scene outside clearly. They looked at the pitch-black sky in the distance. There were a few rays of light flickering like the sun. Those should be intact saint weapons. The two sides were actually fighting. It seemed that the Yi family had received the news. Thinking of this, Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. It should be Xing Tian and the others who made a move. However, he didn't know if they made a move in the Immortal Palace or here. They should be fine. Kid, it's too dangerous here. Let's get some distance away. The Crimson Dragon's suggestion. Lin Xian controlled the Black Earth, and the two of them quickly retreated. They retreated about 3 million miles and then stopped. However, not long after, Lin Xian frowned again, because he felt a few auras behind him. What's going on? He hurriedly used his heaven-tier divine eyes, and a pair of golden eyes appeared in the sky, looking down on everything within 1,000,000 miles. Soon, his eyes lit up, and he was extremely surprised. Yez's Yi, TS still alive? That's. The Crimson Divine Dragon heaved a sigh of relief. TT Lin Xian's expression became serious. Things weren't looking good for him. There were several unrivaled kings chasing after him. Several. The Crimson Dragon grimaced. The Yi families was really strong, especially Yi Wudao. Yez still alive after being chased by so many for so long. It was really surprising. The two of them had just killed an Invincibles. They naturally knew how powerful Invincibles were. Don't make sarcastic remarks here. Let's hurry up and help him. Lin Xian's Black Earth's attack was fast. Yi Wudao's was Yez. At this moment, only 4 elders were left. It could be said that he was in a miserable state. Yi Wudao's was covered in blood, his face pale. From the looks of it, he was also heavily injured. After all, being chased by so many Invincibles was already a miracle. Kid, you can't escape. Behind. An Invincible's king sneered and waved his hand. The flickering bells flew out. It grew in the sky and descended, wanting to envelop Yi Wudao and the others. Buzz. The bell's surface was jade green, with many runes carved into it. It looked very simple and unadorned. At a glance, one could tell it was a treasure. That's right, it was a mid-heaven tier treasure. When an Invincible's king used it, it could suppress everything. Rumble. As expected, the bell's descent tore through the void. Countless runes flashed, and wind and thunder rumbled. The strange power enveloped Yi Wudao and the 4 Yi clan elders. Yi Wudao didn't resist. Instead, he pushed the chariot forward and fled like a madman. He didn't have much strength left, so it wasn't wise to fight. More importantly, he was now very close to the Yi clan. As long as he entered the Yi clan's range of influence, he would be safe. Boom. Heaven and earth shattered. The jade green bell missed, failing to injure Yi Wudao. However, Yi Wudao and the others were still pushed back by the shockwave. Kid, you don't have much strength left, do you? Let's see how many more times you can escape. Seeing his attack miss, the green-robed king laughed coldly. Damn it! An Yi clan elder snorted. When we get back to the Yi clan, you'll all die. They were furious. 4 of their elders had died, and Yi Wudao was seriously injured. If it weren't for the fact that they were protecting him and that he had used the projection of his ancestors, he would have been killed long ago. Yi clan? How naive. We've already set up an inescapable net for millions of kilometers around the Yi clan. Did you really think you could escape? Yi Wudao thought. If you'd fled elsewhere, we would have been in trouble. Yi clan. Yi Wudao thought. Yi Wudao thought. Yi Wudao thought. In fact, there is no need for us to make a move. As long as you run a short distance, you will be killed by our people. What? An inescapable net was set up near the Yi clan? The Yi clan elders' faces fell. Yi Wudao snorted coldly. Elders, don't listen to him. He's definitely trying to interfere with us. The Yi clan is an imperial clan. How could anyone possibly set up an inescapable net around us without anyone noticing? Indeed, Yi Wudao's words made the four elders feel a lot more at ease. However, the three invincible kings behind him were laughing coldly. Yi Wudao thought. Yi Wudao thought. What? You still dare to question our strength? The red-robed king laughed coldly. Yi Wudao thought. The Yi clan might be strong, but there are plenty of terrifying powers out there. Yi Wudao thought. Yi Wudao thought. Don't forget why the Yi clan didn't come to save you. Chapter 26:53. Damn it. The few elders gritted their teeth. This matter was too strange. Leaf Doudinier didn't say a word. His face was cold as he urged the war god chariot forward. Whoosh. The group moved very quickly. As they spoke, they had already traveled more than 300,000 miles. During this time, the invincible kings attacked a few more times. However, Leaf Doudinier controlled the war god chariot to quickly dodge. Every time he dodged, Leaf Doudinier's face turned paler. Clearly, this kind of dodging was very taxing on him. If he persevered a little longer, he would reach the family. Leaf Doudinier gritted his teeth, his eyes flashing. Behind him, the invincible kings sneered. It seems that you are really naive. Since that's the case, let us show you our inescapable net. As he spoke, the green-robed old man activated his jade-green bell. Immediately, the sound of the bell filled the air and spread out, forming a strange sound wave. Clearly, he was notifying his companions. Buzz, buzz. Not long after, countless black clouds appeared in the surroundings. They were like demons and monsters, rolling toward them. There were these terrifying dark clouds in all directions. In an instant, they completely enveloped the surrounding tens of thousands of miles. Not good. Seeing this strange scene, the Yi family elders' expressions changed. Leaf Doudinier's face was gloomy. Charge! He shouted coldly and activated the war god chariot. Millions of golden rays burst out, and at the same time, an immortal king phantom appeared on his body, roaring to the 9 heavens. He charged forward like a madman. In front of him, the black clouds dispersed, and black-robed men appeared, sneering. When they saw Leaf Doudinier, their eyes bloomed with fiery red light. It's him. It's that kid. Catch him. Reward him heavily. These people screamed crazily. But soon, many of them were sent flying. Most of them were almighties and peerless experts. Although Leaf Doudinier was seriously injured, the war god chariot he controlled was an extremely terrifying ancient treasure. Moreover, the immortal king phantom wasn't something that just anyone could resist. In an instant, hundreds of black-robed men were sent flying, vomiting blood. The weaker ones were directly killed. Blood dyed the world red. A terrifying scene surrounded them. Humph, a bunch of ants want to stop me? When the other black-robed men saw this scene, they were shocked. Was this a saint physique? He was too powerful. Damn it, looking at his appearance, he was still seriously injured. To think that it could still unleash such power. No wonder he was able to escape from the hands of so many unrivaled kings. These people were extremely shocked. That's great. Let's get out of here. When the elders of the Yi family saw this, they regained their hope. Leaf Doudinier went all out, and his golden war chariot shot through the air like a bolt of golden lightning. Boom! However, it was at this moment that a loud explosion rang out between heaven and earth. A streak of black demonic chi pierced through and turned into a black sun, crashing into the golden chariot. With a hong sound, heaven and earth collapsed. A terrifying black hole extended outwards, and the golden war chariot was blasted backwards. Puff, 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 Leaf Doudenier and the other 4 elders coughed up mouthfuls of blood, their faces filled with terror. Damn it! Who are you? You still want to leave? In front of them, a tall figure walked out. He wore black armor and held a black hammer in his hand. His body emitted a monstrous power. He was the one who had unleashed that attack earlier. An invincible king. The elders of the Yi family were shocked, and their faces became extremely ugly. Leaf Doudenier frowned. Damn it! Another invincible king had appeared. The situation was critical. Their escape route had been blocked, and 4 invincible kings had locked them in the air. There were also thousands of black-robed men around them, eyeing them like tigers watching their prey. Furthermore, this was only the vicinity. Who knew if there were any more black-robed men ahead? Damn it! Could it be that the Yi family had really been surrounded? The elders of the Yi family were filled with terror. They hadn't believed it before, but now it seemed that these people really had set up an inescapable net around the Yi family. Boom! In this moment of crisis, a dazzling light exploded in the distance, as though it were an eternal light. Everyone within 10 million kilometers saw it, and they all looked up. Leaf Doudenier and the other elders of the Yi family looked up. The black-robed men also frowned, their expressions grave. What's going on? Someone was fighting. The elders of the Yi family cried out in alarm. It's the aura of our holy weapons. They were too excited. It seemed that the family had discovered them. Leaf Doudenier breathed a sigh of relief, but then he was shocked. From the looks of it, the 2 sides were fighting fiercely. Just who could possibly stand up to the Yi family? So what if they're fighting? Our people aren't people you can imagine. Don't expect them to come and save you. The 4 invincible kings laughed coldly, while Leaf Doudenier's expression darkened. Elders, hurry up and send word to the family. I can hold them off for a while. Actually, there was no need for Leaf Doudenier to say anything. The elders of the Yi family had already sent word. Attack. Hurry up and capture him. A long night is fraught with dreams. The green-robed king said coldly. They didn't dare to be careless. The 4 invincible kings attacked together, while the surrounding black-robed men watched from a distance. Little brat, die obediently for me. The 4 of them laughed savagely, and terrifying light exploded out. The 4 invincible kings were sent flying, and the surrounding black-robed men were even more shocked. Damn it! What just happened? Leaf Doudenier urged the golden chariot to flee. As it turned out, he had just detonated a mid-heaven tier treasure. The power of the explosion was so terrifying that it had forced the 4 invincible kings to retreat. Kid, you won't be able to escape. The 4 invincible kings' expressions darkened. The explosion had forced them back, but it wasn't enough to threaten them. They snorted coldly, then attacked again. At the same time, they issued orders to stop him. The surrounding black-robed men unleashed furious lotuses, filling the sky with light. Leaf Doudenier was in a critical situation. Was he really going to die here? The 4 elders' faces were incomparably pale. They were already at their doorstep. Dying here was too depressing. Leaf Doudenier was covered in blood. Although he had a saint body, fighting invincible kings was too much for him. And 4 invincible kings at that. In the blink of an eye, many of his bones were broken, and the golden light dimmed. The immortal king projection let out an unwilling roar. Don't struggle, kid. You're going to die today. The 4 invincible kings laughed coldly, just as they were about to succeed. Off in the distance, another shocking wave of energy came. What's going on? Are the Yi family people coming? Or are they our people? When they looked up, the first thing they saw was black light. Seeing this, the 4 invincible kings breathed sighs of relief. They had used black robes, black light, and black energy to conceal themselves. Therefore, when they saw the black light, they immediately assumed it was one of their own. It was over. There was no hope. Leaf Doudenier and the Yi family elders were ashen. From the looks of it, more reinforcements had arrived. What could they do? However, something unexpected happened. Chapter 26:54. The black light that came from afar suddenly shot out 4 pillars of light that reached the sky and blasted over. The light was very fast, arriving beside them in an instant. It carried a monstrous aura. Then, the 4 invincible kings beside them were sent flying. The surrounding black-robed people who were affected directly split open and turned into a bloody mist. In an instant, all kinds of miserable cries rang out. The terrifying light swept through the 9 heavens. What happened? The Yi family elders were stunned. Yi Wudao seized the opportunity to activate the golden chariot, forming a terrifying defense that wrapped around them. Perhaps it wasn't one of them. The black-robed people screamed. Damn it! Who was it? They retreated crazily, and the 4 invincible kings were also sent flying. Damn it! Their gazes were like sharp, heavenly blades, piercing through the void and staring ahead. It was a spirit boat. The black light in front of them gradually approached. Then, they could finally see it clearly. The black light was a spirit boat. It was abnormally simple, and the flickering runes on it dazzled them. Damn it, it didn't seem to be one of them. The black-robed people roared. Yi Wudao and the others were also shocked. However, at this moment, Lin Xian's figure appeared. Wudao, are you all right? Brother Lin, it's you. Seeing Lin Xian, Wudao was also surprised, but then he smiled. The Yi family elders were even more excited. Hallmaster Lin, please save him. They recognized Lin Xian. He was also a peerless genius, and behind him stood Immortal Palace, which was very mysterious. If he helped, perhaps they really had a chance to escape. Lin Xian smiled. I came here to help Wudao. Don't worry, Immortal Palace has already notified the Yi family. The Yi family has already begun to move. Come with me first. As he spoke, he waved his hand, and a black light enveloped Yi Wudao and the Yi family elders. Lin Xian wanted to pull them into the black earth. Once inside, no matter how fierce the enemy's attacks were, they wouldn't be able to break through the black earth. They would be safe. Damn brat, how dare you! The black-robed cultivators roared furiously when they saw that Qin Nan was about to lend a hand. Meanwhile, the 4 rulers burst out laughing. What a reckless brat! Since you want to die, I'll kill you as well. They couldn't care less about him because they could tell at a glance that the other party was only a 7-star almighty. With such a cultivation base, he was no different from an ant in front of him. How dare he resist? The invincible king with the black hammer swung the hammer in his hand and blasted it out. Lin Xian sneered when he saw this scene. He entered the black earth and used the black earth to block the attack. With a bang, countless large cracks appeared in the surroundings. The black earth was safe and sound. Just based on the 4 of you old farts, you can't kill me. With that, Lin Xian waved his hand, and Leaf Daodinier and the others approached the black earth. The 4 invincible kings were also flustered. If it was just an ordinary 7-star almighty, they naturally wouldn't take it seriously. But now, the lad before them was no pushover. At the very least, the spirit vessel in his hands was of a high grade, allowing him to withstand their attacks. Don't even think about it. The invincible king in green robes and the invincible king with the black lightning hammer were very fast. In an instant, they arrived beside Leaf Daodinier and the others. They actually followed the beam of light and flew forward together. Soon, the 2 of them entered the black earth as well. Ha 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 ha. Seeing this scene, the remaining 2 invincible kings laughed maniacally. The surrounding black-robed men also had ferocious expressions. So what if the other party's spirit vessel was powerful? Their 2 invincible kings went in and killed everyone. Soon, the other party's corpse would be thrown out. But after waiting for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, no corpse came out. Not only that, but the black earth also turned into a stream of light, knocking away dozens of black-robed men and flying straight ahead. Damn it, what's going on? The surrounding black-robed men were stunned. The 2 invincible kings were also stunned. Damn it, chase after him. We can't let them get away. Contact the people in front and have them set up the Skynet formation to kill them. Although they didn't know what had happened, they wouldn't let the other party escape. On the other side, when Leaf Daodinier and the Yi family elders entered the black earth, they breathed a sigh of relief. But when they saw the 2 invincible kings behind them, their expressions turned ugly. Not good this time. They were really dead. Inside the spirit vessel, they couldn't escape even if they wanted to. Humph, let's see where you can run this time. Damned ant. Kneel down obediently and accept your death. The two invincible kings looked at Leaf Dowdinier and the others and sneered. Among them, the invincible king in green robes stared at Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon. You two dare to meddle in our affairs? In a moment, I'll let you know what it means to be torn to pieces, living a life worse than death. Brother Lin, I've implicated you. Leaf Dowdinier's expression was ugly. It didn't matter. Lin Xian waved his hand, not nervous at all. Wasn't it just two invincible kings? He couldn't fight them before, but with the formation suppressing his cultivation base, that wasn't necessarily the case. Although it consumed half of his resources, if he could get his hands on the two invincible kings' rings of holding, he could definitely make up for it. He could even make a huge profit. Therefore, Lin Xian said, Black Earth, move out. You want to fight us? You don't know the difference between life and death? The two invincible kings sneered and prepared to attack. But then, the world spun, and countless runes flickered, enveloping the two invincible kings, Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon. Leaf Dowdinier and the Yi family elders were stunned. They saw a strange formation in front of the spirit vessel, emitting an aura that made their hearts tremble. Then, the two invincible kings, Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon, disappeared. They seemed to be floating in the formation, but it didn't look very real. What was going on? Where was Brother Lin? They were shocked and looked around. At this time, Black Earth floated over. Don't worry, it's fine. Lin Xian will deal with the two invincible kings. You can rest here for now. There are spirit fruits and recovery pills here. There are also many cultivation rooms. You can rest at ease. When Leaf Dowdinier and the other Yi clan elders heard that, they were completely taken aback. Those were two invincible kings. They couldn't even defeat them, so how could Lin Xian deal with them alone? They couldn't understand. What was even stranger was that the one speaking was a sword. A broken black sword. It was too strange. Leaf Dowdinier was also worried. Was Brother Lin really fine? And what's your name? Don't worry, he's fine. This formation has a strange effect. As for me, I'm Black Earth, the spirit vessel's spirit vessel. Chapter 26:55. Yi Wudao and the others from the Yi family asked some simple questions again. Then, they entered their respective cultivation rooms and prepared to cultivate and recover. The pursuit during this period of time had consumed too much of their energy. Several of them were seriously injured. As a result, Yi Wudao's injuries were even more serious. If they didn't clean up now, it would definitely affect their cultivation and martial path in the future. Therefore, these people didn't dare to be careless. They recovered with all their strength. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon fought with the two invincible kings. He too controlled the Black Earth and flew towards the Yi family. At the same time, he tried to contact the Yi family. On the Yi family's side, the battle was very intense. The Yi family's elders' faces were gloomy. They had used 3 intact holy weapons, and they had fully recovered, but they still couldn't suppress the other party. This was too shocking for them. They even wanted to use more holy weapons. Many people suggested to the Patriarch that they use extreme weapons to destroy the other party. This time, they were really too angry. When had their Yi clan ever been attacked by others? The warriors in the surrounding cities were also terrified. Of course, they didn't dare to go and could only obediently stay in the city. However, their hearts were in turmoil. Who dared to start a war with the Yi family? Was it someone from the Immortal Palace? While flying, He too caught a few familiar energy traces. He changed direction and rushed over. It was the Palace Master's spirit ship. The Great Guardian and the Sixth Guardian also cried out in surprise. Palace Master, we are here. They hurriedly transmitted their voices. He too shot down a black light, enveloping the Great Guardian, the Sixth Guardian, and the black-dressed woman, Xiao Wu. The 3 of them entered the Black Earth and quickly asked. He too gave a simple explanation. When they learned that Lin Xian was fighting with 2 invincible kings, they were extremely shocked. No way. Was the Palace Master in danger? They were too shocked. There was no danger. Could it be that the palace master had broken through to the invincible king realm? Seeing the shock of the three, He too shook his head. No, that formation could suppress the cultivation of invincible kings. There was such a magical formation. They were shocked. When they learned that Leaf Doudinier was here, they breathed sighs of relief. A smile appeared on her face. That's great. This time, I've done the Yi family a huge favor. Thinking about it, the Yi clan would definitely not mistreat them. After a simple discussion, they sat down cross-legged and began to recover. The invincible kings outside were all going crazy. What was going on? So many people had been taken away by the spirit boat. That was especially true when the invincible kings realized that Leaf Doudinier was on the ship and began to chase after him like madmen. The Black Earthen was followed by 5 or 6 invincible kings and countless black-robed men. This scene was very frightening, but the Black Earth went all out and left them far behind in the dust. When they arrived at the Yi family, the Great Protector and the others stood up because the battle here was the most dangerous. It was all holy might. Even unrivaled King Tears didn't dare to approach it. The black-robed men also roared angrily and quickly transmitted the message to their leaders. He wanted them to kill him. Sure enough, in the sky, a black-robed man received the news and shouted coldly. He waved a walking stick with a coiled snake and charged over. The walking stick was an undamaged holy weapon. The holy might it emitted enveloped the black earth. Seeing this, the black-robed man laughed. With a holy weapon in hand, no matter how strong the enemy was, they wouldn't be able to stop it. Let's do it too. Seeing this, the Great Protector took out a golden decree and sent it out. Outside the black earth, the golden decree unfolded. Mysterious runes flickered, and a vast power blocked the attack. The golden decree was also a holy weapon, and an undamaged one at that. At the same time, the 6 Great Protectors sent another message to the Yi family, telling them to hurry over. The Yi family was extremely anxious. The surrounding black-robed men were already so terrifying. How many people were chasing Leaf Doudinier? They didn't dare to imagine. In fact, they were already preparing for the worst. But at this time, they received news from Immortal Palace. When they learned that Immortal Palace had brought Leaf Doudinier back, they were wild with joy. Hurry and move out. Go and welcome him. Do whatever it takes. Bring them over to me. The Yi family patriarch roared. Immediately, the elders and experts of the Yi family moved out. This time, they moved out over 1,000 people. When the Yi family was angry, it was extremely terrifying. The remaining people frantically activated their holy weapons. Even a grand elder walked out from the forbidden area. Patriarch. Seeing this person, the experts were excited. The Yi family patriarch was also very respectful. That was because he was a true saint. The saint directly took an undamaged holy weapon and sent it out. Boom! The heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. The terrifying holy might in the sky directly tore apart the black, demonic clouds. The entire world was restored to clarity. The black-robed men quickly retreated, coughing up large mouthfuls of blood. Thousands of black-robed cultivators were directly torn apart by this attack. Even the invincible kings were filled with fear. Not good. The saint had made his move. Damn it. Where's Leaf Doudinier? One of the invincible kings asked coldly. He was the overall leader this time. The demonic clouds were summoned by him. Reporting to the Lord, it was stolen. It was a black spirit boat. It was that one. Why did he point ahead? However, 2 of us invincible kings were also inside. Seeing this scene, the invincible kings of the Dark Devils roared coldly and attacked. This was the final kill. But this time, thousands of Yi family experts moved out, making it impossible for the black-robed men to succeed. At this moment, an old figure walked out in front of them. It gave them a sense of endless pressure. Not good, it's a saint. D***M in it. Could it be that this mission was going to fail? What do we do? The other black-robed men all looked at the invincible kings of the Dark Devils. The invincible kings of the Dark Devils were very decisive. If they failed to kill, they would not let their sacrifice go to waste. Therefore, these people quickly retreated like dark clouds. That's great. They finally retreated. The Yi family cultivators sighed in relief. The black earthen also arrived at the Yi family. Boom! The door opened, and the three protectors, as well as Yi Wudao and the others, walked out. Wudao. When the Yi clan members saw that Leaf Dao was still alive, they breathed a sigh of relief. But when they sensed that Yi Wudao was injured, they all became savage. Damn it! Who was it? I don't know. We were chased for a long time. Fortunately, Wudao had the projection of the ancestor. Otherwise, we really would have died. The elders all gnashed their teeth. Family head, we must take revenge. Someone actually dared to make a move against our future hope. This had indeed touched their bottom line. Yi Wudao was the hope of the Yi family for the next 10,000 years. Now that someone wanted to kill him, the Yi family would not let them off. Chapter 2656. Damn it, he wasn't dead. How was that possible? The black-robed figures in the sky retreated to a certain distance, but they didn't leave immediately. They knew that the two invincible kings had entered the spirit boat and were fighting. That gave them a glimmer of hope. After all, the two invincible kings had joined forces, while the other side only had a heavily injured elder and two seven-star experts. With such strength, how could he possibly contend against it? Perhaps Leaf Dao had already been killed in Massachusetts. Of course, that was only their guess. They wanted to see Leaf Dao's corpse with their own eyes. However, things greatly exceeded their expectations. They didn't see Leaf Dao's corpse, but he was alive. How was that possible? The invincible king's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. Impossible. Green Robe and Black Hammer went in personally. Where were the two of them? Indeed, their companions had entered the spirit boat. But why hadn't they killed Leaf Dao? And why hadn't the two of them come out yet? After Leaf Dao and the chief enforcer came out, Lin Xian also came out. He looked at the countless black-robed figures in the distance and sneered. What, are you still waiting for the two invincible kings? They're here. With that, he waved his hand, and the two corpses flew out and landed on the ground. What was that? The Yi family elder was shocked and looked carefully. The countless black-robed figures in the sky were shocked. Dead? Green Robe and Black Hammer were killed? Damn it! Could there be other invincible kings in the spirit boat? They didn't dare to believe it. The elders of the Yi family also cried out in alarm. Those were the corpses of invincible kings. Their faces were also filled with astonishment. Leaf Dao and the four elders with him were even more shocked. They looked at Lin Xian with disbelief. They had seen with their own eyes Lin Xian and the two invincible kings surrounded by a formation. They had been worried about Lin Xian's safety, but now Lin Xian had killed two invincible kings. Damn it! Damn it! This scene made them feel as if they were dreaming. In the sky, those black-robed men roared madly. Their plan had failed. Their plan had been perfect, and they had deployed so many invincible kings that Leaf Dao was in a dire situation. Logically speaking, no matter how powerful the other party was, it would be difficult for him to escape. But now, they had actually failed. Damn it! Who the hell is this brat? It's him. He's the one who messed up all my plans. That's right. If Lin Xian hadn't appeared, their plan would have been perfect. Leaf Dao would definitely be killed. However, the appearance of this person in front of them completely disrupted their plans. Leaf Dao was still alive, and none of them had taken advantage of him. Instead, it completely infuriated the Yi family. When the clan chief saw that Leaf Dao was alive and well, he breathed a sigh of relief. The next moment, he snorted coldly, and a piercingly cold light burst out from his eyes, turning into thousands of divine lights. Disciples of the Yi family, listen up, kill them all. He had to find out who the mastermind was. With that order, the elders, experts, and young geniuses all moved out. The sage in the sky even reached out a palm that covered 5 million miles, completely enveloping everyone. The Yi clan retaliated. Run! The black-robed men screamed like madmen, and many of them hurriedly drew on their sacred weapons in an attempt to resist. However, the sage of the Yi family was simply too strong. He swept through everything. Apart from the areas covered by the sacred weapons, which were temporarily able to resist, everything else was destroyed. The black-robed men were reduced to a bloody mist, and their souls were extracted and collected by the Yi family elders. However, their cultivation levels were too low, and they didn't know the core secrets. In the blink of an eye, their souls were destroyed. The Yi clan had launched a powerful counterattack. Great Protector Lin Xian and the others were also extremely shocked. As expected of a clan of the primordial ancients, a clan of the primordial emperors, they were truly terrifying. However, none of this had anything to do with them. Once the Yi clan got their hands on the truth, all they had to do was ask. Off to the side, Leaf Dao Denier and the others were taken to the Yi clan's forbidden area to recuperate. As for the clan chief, he led the elders, experts, and disciples of the Yi clan to receive Lin Xian, the chief enforcer, and the others in the grandest fashion. It couldn't be helped. Lin Xian had become their savior this time. If it weren't for him, Leaf Dao Denier would have been killed. They couldn't bear the consequences. Thank you for your help, Hallmaster Lin. The Yi clan's clan chief personally welcomed him. The Yi clan's clan chief was too polite. Lin Xian cupped his hands and walked forward side by side with the Yi clan's clan chief. In Hui Hong's main hall, there were songs and dances, and all kinds of rare fruits were placed on display. The elders of the Yi clan were extremely grateful. After 3 rounds of wine, both sides were very happy. At this moment, Lin Xian said, Yi clan's clan chief, I came to the eastern wilderness this time because I have something to discuss with you. What is it? Hallmaster Lin, as long as the Yi clan can do it, we will definitely not refuse. Thank you very much. Lin Xian's lips curled up. It seemed that the Yi clan was indeed loyal. I came to join forces with the Yi clan because I received news of the nest of 10,000 dragons. What? News of the nest of 10,000 dragons? Hearing this, the elders of the Yi clan were also surprised. The Yi clan's clan chief was stunned. Then, he waved his hand and said to the dancing beauties, You all can leave first. Yes, clan chief. The beautiful disciples of the Yi clan quickly retreated. Only Lin Xian, the great guardian, and the others were left in the main hall. The elders and experts of the Yi clan. Hallmaster Lin, to be honest, we also know some information about the nest of 10,000 dragons. But we don't know the specifics. We only know that it seems to have been rumored in Zhengzhou for many years, but no one has really seen it. The Yi clan's clan chief frowned. He thought that Lin Xian wanted to ask him about the nest of 10,000 dragons. However, Lin Xian smiled and said, This time, I received accurate information. I can definitely find the nest of 10,000 dragons. What? Accurate information? Are you sure? The Yi clan's clan chief also gasped. The elders and experts of the Yi clan were even more shocked. Of course, Lin Xian briefly explained how he got it. When everyone heard that the news of the nest of 10,000 dragons came out together with the Yuhua immortal robe, they believed it. They knew how big the commotion caused by the Yuhua immortal robe was. However, they didn't expect that Lin Xian would actually obtain news of the nest of 10,000 dragons during that opportunity. The nest of 10,000 dragons was of great importance. Once it appeared, it would affect the entire true spirit continent. At that time, not only would it be a matter of Zhengzhou, but also the eastern wasteland, western desert, southern mountains, and northern plains. Countless sacred grounds and sects would be alarmed. That scene would definitely be more spectacular than exploring ancient tombs. Moreover, even if they found the nest of 10,000 dragons, it would definitely not be easy to break the seal of the nest of 10,000 dragons. This was an extremely difficult project. Chapter 26:57. My immortal palace can't swallow it alone, so I want to make some allies. The Yi family is my first stop. Good. My Yi family is willing to join forces to explore the nest of 10,000 dragons. Yi family had laughed. They were already very happy that Yi Wudao's life was not in danger. They didn't expect to receive an unexpected surprise. They learned about the nest of 10,000 dragons. The nest of 10,000 dragons was rumored to be the burial place of the dragon race. Dragons were mystical creatures, and they knew it very well. It was the most terrifying race among the beasts. The burial place of the dragon race must have endless natural treasures and even many of the dragon race's great divine abilities. Perhaps there were endless dragon veins. All of this was extremely tempting for humans like them. Lin Xian was also happy because although Immortal Palace was powerful, it also had its drawbacks. Firstly, the Immortal Palace he controlled was only the tip of the iceberg, and he couldn't mobilize all of its strength. Moreover, Immortal Palace had just appeared in the world. Although they had done some shocking things, their appeal was definitely not as strong as the Yi family. Moreover, he had many enemies, such as the Tai dynasty, the Yin-Yang sect, the Five Elements Palace, the War Race, and so on. They were all shocking great forces. When the time came, these people would definitely join forces. Therefore, there would only be many benefits and no disadvantages if he formed an alliance with the Yi family now. Next, Lin Xian, the Yi family head, and a group of elders began a close meeting. This meeting lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. 3 days later, Lin Xian and the others got up and left because they had reached an agreement. When the time came, they would join forces to hold a grand meeting and invite the sect masters and sacred lords of the various holy lands and sects in the world to come here to discuss. Hall Master Lin, this time, my Yi family owes you a huge favor. If you need any help in the future, don't hesitate to ask. The Yi family head led a group of Yi family experts out to send them off. Good. Lin Xian nodded with a smile. Yi family head, there's no need to send us off. We'll take our leave. As he spoke, he and the other 2 entered the Black Earth and left. After leaving the Yi family, the 6 protectors heaved a sigh of relief. This time, it was really too dangerous. Who were these black-clothed men? They don't know yet. Lin Xian shook his head. There was no need to rush. With the Yi clan attacking with all their might, these black-clothed men would definitely end up in a miserable state. When the time came, all he had to do was ask Leaf Doudenier about them. By the way, Abaddon, after what happened with Leaf Doudenier, we've come to the conclusion that you're being targeted by some mysterious people. Therefore, we will send you an invincible king. Xiao Wu. With that, the lady in the black dress stood up and bowed respectfully to Lin Xian. Greetings, Hall Master. An invincible king? Lin Xian was surprised. Then, he smiled and said, no need to be so polite. Xing Tian was currently busy gathering the nest of 10,000 dragons and couldn't be by his side. It would be good to get another invincible king to protect him. After all, many people had their eyes on him now, because his performance in the ancient tomb was too dazzling. Moreover, this time, he threw out the corpses of 2 invincible kings. If this matter were to spread, it would definitely shock the world. One had to know that he had a lot of enemies. The Yin-Yang sect, the Tai dynasty, the 5 palaces, and the War Race were all great sects of the Holy Lands. If these forces sent invincible kings to kill him, it might be very troublesome. Now that there was such a beautiful invincible king, Lin Xian felt much more at ease. Next, let's go to the Jade Pool. Lin Xian controlled the Black Earth and flew in the direction of the Jade Pool. The Jade Pool was the Holy Land where Murong Qingcheng was. He would definitely go there. Not only that, he would also make a trip to the Purple Dawn Holy Land. After all, Qingcheng and Shunjingqiu were both holy maidens. With their help and recommendation, Lin Xian could quickly get in touch with the 2 Holy Lands. As expected, when Lin Xian arrived at the Jade Pool and found Murong Qingcheng, she was shocked. Murong Qingcheng was also shocked. Brother Xian, don't worry. I'll tell Master now. Not only was Murong Qingcheng the holy maiden of the Jade Pool, but she was also the last disciple of the Jade Pool's sacred leader. When the Jade Pool's sacred leader received the news, she also came out of seclusion in surprise and personally welcomed him. The Jade Pool's sacred leader was known as the Queen Mother of the West. She was a very dignified and beautiful woman. Greetings to the Queen Mother of the West. Lin Xian cupped his fists and smiled. Hall Master Lin, you're too polite. You're the owner of a shop, so you're on the same level as me. The Queen Mother of the West's voice was very pleasant. Hall Master Lin, please. Queen Mother of the West, please. Lin Xian didn't dare to be careless at all because the Jade Pool's sacred ground was also very terrifying and had produced a great emperor. Moreover, there were extreme weapons in the Jade Pool. It could be said that the Jade Pool was as terrifying as the Yi family. Next, Lin Xian and the Queen Mother of the West had a meeting. When Lin Xian mentioned the news of the nest of 10,000 dragons, the Queen Mother of the West and all the elders of the Jade Pool were shocked. When they learned that Lin Xian had confirmed the news, their breathing quickened. I've already formed an alliance with the Yi family's patriarch before this trip. I wonder what the Queen Mother of the West thinks this time? Of course I'm willing. The Queen Mother of the West was also tempted. All of this was as Lin Xian had expected. Next, he discussed some details with the Queen Mother of the West and the others again. Then, he stood up and prepared to leave. However, before leaving, Lin Xian looked at Morong Qingqing. Queen Mother of the West, I hope you can give Qingqing an invincible king-level protector. Oh, why? The Queen Mother of the West was stunned. Every saint and saintess had a protector, but the protector was also based on the saint and saintess cultivation. Now, Morong Qingqing's protector was a peak 8-star almighty. Of course, he had many trump cards in his hand, and he might even have a sacred weapon in good condition. After all, Morong Qingqing's safety was very important. The Yi family's sacred body, Yi Wudao, is being hunted down. I think the eastern wilderness will not be peaceful recently. What? Yi Wudao is being hunted down? The Queen Mother of the West was shocked, and the elders of the Jade Lake Sacred Ground gasped. Hall Master Lin, is what you said true? That's impossible. The Yi family is a clan of the ancients. Who would dare to attack them? Moreover, they came to assassinate Yi Wudao. They all knew how important Yi Wudao was to the Yi family. Lin Xian said, It's true. I think the news will spread soon. You can ask around and find out. Seeing Lin Xian so sure, the Queen Mother of the West's expression turned serious. It seemed that the matter had really happened. She said, Don't worry. We will give Qingqing an invincible king-level protector, and he will also have a sacred weapon in good condition. Before they figured out who attacked the Yi family, they did not dare to be careless. After all, the other party dared to attack the Yi family. Who knew if they would attack other geniuses? Brother Xian, where do you want to go next? Morong Qingqing asked from the side. Lin Xian smiled. I'm going to the Purple Dawn Sacred Ground. Master, I want to go with Brother Xian. Morong Qingqing asked. Chapter 26:58. The Queen Mother of the West nodded. She was at ease with Lin Xian by her side. Moreover, she was very satisfied with Lin Xian from the simple interaction just now. Perhaps it was possible for the two of them to become a couple. Next, Lin Xian bid farewell to the Queen Mother of the West and left the Jade Lake Sacred Ground with Morong Qingqing. They headed to the Purple Glow Sacred Ground. The Purple Glow Sacred Ground. It was also a peerless sacred ground in the eastern wilderness. It was located in a fairyland. The purple chi that filled the sky was very beautiful. When Shen Jingqiu learned that Lin Xian and Morong Qingqing were coming, she was very happy. She turned into a stream of light and rushed out. Brother Lin Xian, Miss Seductress, you're both here. She jumped into Lin Xian's arms happily. This scene made the male disciples of the Purple Glow Sacred Ground envious. They all widened their eyes and stared at Lin Xian with gritted teeth. Damn it, who is this guy? There were countless disciples in the Purple Glow Sacred Ground, but not everyone had seen Lin Xian before. Therefore, when they saw their saintess in the arms of a strange man, they were stunned. It's him. It's that kid. Damn it, I didn't expect him to come. Some people also recognized Lin Xian. What is he doing here? These people discussed animatedly, and many of them directly reported to the elders. Sure enough, the elders of the Purple Glow Sacred Ground came not long after. Who are you? How dare you be so rude to our saintess? When the elders saw this scene, they immediately blew their beards and glared. Lin Xian let go of Shan Jingqiu, looked into the distance, and said indifferently, I am the master of the Immortal Palace, Lin Xian. The master of the Immortal Palace. The elders were stunned, and then they were extremely shocked. They had heard of his name, but it was the first time many of the elders had seen him. When they saw the beautiful figure beside him, they cried out in surprise. The Jade Lake Saintess. Lin Xian might be unfamiliar to them, but Morong Qingqing was no stranger to them. Both of them were from the Eastern Barren Territory, and the other party was the saintess of the Jade Lake Sacred Ground. How could they not know each other? For a holy maiden and a hall master who was on par with their hall master to come together, it was likely that they had some important matters to discuss. They hurriedly said, "Please, gentlemen." Soon, an elder invited them over. Even more people went to inform their holy masters. The young ones also went back to call for help. When the young geniuses of the Purple Dawn Holy Land found out that their holy maiden had actually thrown herself into someone else's arms, they gritted their teeth so hard that they almost shattered. "Damn it! Who is it? No, I must teach him a good lesson." Among them, many peerless geniuses charged forward murderously. "It's him! It's him!" Many people pointed at Lin Xian and shouted from afar. Those peerless geniuses stared at Lin Xian and sneered. He was only a mid-stage 7-star king tier. What was the big deal? "I'm going to destroy him now." These people wanted to make a move. However, in the next moment, their eyeballs popped out, because they found that their holy masters had actually personally welcomed the other party. "Oh my God, are my eyes playing tricks on me? F***CK, dream. I must be dreaming. How can he be on the same level as the holy masters? Damn it, who is this kid?" Those peerless geniuses also felt chills all over their bodies. Fortunately, they didn't have time to make a move. Otherwise, they would have been slapped to death by their holy masters. He seemed to be the immortal palace master, but this kid's strength wasn't that great. Many 5th-rank warriors gritted their teeth. When those peerless geniuses heard this, their faces turned green. What? The immortal palace master. The current immortal palace was no longer as mysterious as before. Ever since the ancient tomb battle, the name of Immortal Palace had gradually spread. They were all familiar with the great sects of the true spirit world. The other party was from Immortal Palace, and he was the Immortal Palace Master. He was definitely a super genius, and his status was on the same level as their holy masters. Thinking of this, those peerless geniuses' faces turned ugly. "Damn it, do you want me to die?" They began to scold their junior brothers. Those junior brothers also had bitter looks on their faces. "Senior brother, we really don't dare to." Lin Xian naturally didn't care about this small episode. At this moment, he brought Morong Qingqing, Shun Jingqiu, the Great Guardian, and the others to gather with the Purple Dawn Holy Land's Holy Master and a group of elders. Lin Xian went straight to the point, directly stating his intentions, because he knew that the other party wouldn't refuse. Sure enough, after hearing this news, the Purple Dawn Holy Land's Holy Master and elders were all fired up. Immediately, they decided to join forces with Lin Xian. "Hall Master Lin, you must be tired from the journey. Why don't you stay in the Purple Dawn Holy Land for a few days?" The Purple Dawn Holy Master invited. Lin Xian thought about it. Since he hadn't seen Morong Qingqing and Shin Jingqiu in a long time, he might as well stay here for a while. After all, he was going to leave the Eastern Wasteland and go to the other continents to join forces with the other Holy Lands. In the following days, Lin Xian, Morong Qingqing, and Shun Jingqiu enjoyed the magnificent scenery. This scene made the male disciples of the Holy Lands so envious that they wanted to die. Damn it! Not only did he manage to win over their holy daughter, but he even had the holy daughter of the Jade Lake by his side. He had 2 peerless beauties with him. That made them go crazy with jealousy. This kid is too amazing. How did he do it? Even the Alcade Holy Sun and Leaf Dao Denier didn't receive such treatment. They were so curious that they wanted nothing more than to run over and ask for help. However, before they could do so, a shocking piece of news spread. Of course, it was about Leaf Dao Denier and the mysterious faction. The news that Leaf Dao Denier was being hunted down spread. The Holy Lands and sects of the Eastern Wasteland were shocked. Not only that, but the news also spread to the other continents. Everyone was stunned. They couldn't believe it. The news had to be fake. Who would dare to hunt down Leaf Dao Denier? Leaf Dao Denier was the hope of the Yi clan. Touching him was touching the bottom line of the Yi clan. The Yi clan would definitely fight back at all costs. The Holy Lands, sects, and dynasties didn't believe it. However, after many inquiries, they discovered that the news was actually true. This scene caused their minds to go blank. What faction would dare to do such a thing? Could it be one of the 3 great assassin dynasties? The first thing they thought of was the three great assassin dynasties. They were the only ones who would dare to make a move on Leaf Doudenier. After all, the three great assassin dynasties were rumored to have killed saints in ancient times. However, they soon discovered that it wasn't the three great assassin dynasties, but rather a very low-key and mysterious organization. Of course, they didn't know what it was. In fact, the Yi clan didn't know either. All of the black-robed men who had come had been killed by the Yi clan. The Yi clan had extracted their souls and used their divine abilities to soul-search them. However, in the end, they hadn't been able to find any useful information. The Yi clan was very surprised. Looks like this is a huge desert. Let's leave this place first and explore the surroundings, the Crimson Dragon suggested. Next, the two of them turned into streams of light and flew forward. 2 days later, they left the desert. Mountains and forests gradually appeared in front of them. The species of trees here were completely different from those in the eastern wilderness and Zhengzhou. They were all drought-resistant and looked very strange. After flying for another 3 days, they saw mountains again. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. So far, he had not met a single person. Therefore, he did not know where he was either. However, the Crimson Dragon exclaimed softly, "Why do I feel that this place is a little familiar?" "Familiar? Have you been here before?" Lin Xian asked. "No, but this place was very similar to what was recorded in the ancient books." The Crimson Dragon shook his head. His body swayed and gradually rose into the sky. Then, he pointed below and said, "Kid, come here. I'll tell you." Lin Xian was puzzled. He rose into the sky and looked into the distance. "This is?" He was shocked. "How is it? Have you noticed it too?" "Yes, this place is very famous in the Western Desert. This place was called the Reclining Buddha Ridge. The mountain was like a giant Buddha lying on the ground. It was not man-made, but formed naturally. It was very mysterious. It was said that many saints of the Buddhist holy lands in the Western Desert had come here to gain enlightenment. However, no one knew what exactly they gained. Moreover, it seemed that not only the Western Desert, but also the other continents had experts who came here to gain enlightenment. It was said that even the emperors of old had come here when they were young. So mysterious. Lin Xian was surprised. He did not expect that they would come to such a legendary place. "Is it dangerous here?" Lin Xian asked. Usually, such places were like forbidden areas. Even if they were not, they were still very scary. However, this time, the Crimson Dragon shook his head. It was not dangerous. There were no formations in this place. Occasionally, there would be a trace of a terrifying aura. However, under normal circumstances, it would not attack people. "Kid, why don't we go down and take a look? Maybe we can gain some enlightenment? Since we're here at a legendary place, it would be inappropriate to leave without taking a look." Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon flew forward quickly. Soon, they arrived near the giant Buddha. The two of them landed and saw that they were surrounded by cliffs. There were all kinds of marks and runes drawn on the walls. In short, it was very messy. The Crimson Dragon pointed at these marks and said, "These were all left behind by those who had gained enlightenment. However, don't underestimate these runes. It was said that someone once found a mark left behind by a great emperor here. Then, he gained enlightenment and finally became a terrifying saint. Left behind by a great emperor." There was such a thing. Lin Xian was shocked. He looked around, but he didn't find anything special. Of course, the great emperor that I mentioned was left behind by a great emperor when he was young. However, that was already very profound. Moreover, the younger the great emperor, the more ordinary the mark left behind. At their level, it was likely that they would have returned to simplicity long ago and turned complexity into simplicity. If a casual stroke could be developed, it would be thousands of worlds. So that's how it is. Lin Xian's heart skipped a beat. He used the heavenly secret god eyes and golden runes appeared in his eyes. He looked in all directions. He decided to meditate here for a few days. A day later, Lin Xian was astonished. He had gained some enlightenment from these engravings, and it was very enlightening for his own martial cultivation. This made him very happy. However, just as he was about to continue comprehending, a powerful figure descended from the sky. An aura that seemed to be able to split the sky and earth descended from the sky and swept in all directions. It wanted to crush Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon. The two of them changed their expressions and snorted coldly. A sharp sword light rushed out from their bodies, and a terrifying light directly cut off the energy fluctuation. In the next moment, they looked up and frowned. Chapter 2660. They saw a young monk descending from the sky in front of them. He was wearing a kasaya and had a handsome face. However, there was an unusually sharp aura in his eyes. At this moment, he glanced at Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon and said coldly, "I want to meditate and cultivate here. Get lost, you ants." His voice was emotionless and cold. Within a radius of a few thousand miles, some figures quickly rose into the air and fled into the distance. It seemed that other than Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon, there were other people meditating here. However, after these people sensed the biting cold aura, their faces changed and they did not dare to stay any longer. Some people even recognized the other party's identity and were scared witless. They quickly left. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon frowned. Who was this person? He was so arrogant and insolent. When the young monk saw that the others had fled, a cold smile appeared on his face. However, when he saw that Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon did not intend to leave, his face darkened. "You two ants, get lost. Disappear in front of my eyes in 3 seconds. Otherwise, I'll kill you." As soon as he said that, Lin Xian's face darkened. The Crimson Dragon jumped up. F*CK, who are you? How dare you talk to us like that? Believe it or not, Bin Huang will slap you to death. Lin Xian's expression was also cold. The two of them were meditating here and did not provoke the other party. However, the other party asked them to get lost as soon as he appeared. He even threatened to kill them. No one would be able to tolerate this, let alone Lin Xian. Courting death. Ignorant ants. The young monk was also angry. A small snake dared to clamor in front of him. He raised his finger and pointed forward. A piercing light tore through the sky and instantly arrived in front of the Crimson Dragon. Boom! The Crimson Dragon waved its dragon claws and slapped forward. A shocking sound was heard. He directly smashed the attack. He actually broke it. The young monk was stunned. He laughed coldly. "You have some strength. No wonder you dare to be so arrogant in front of me." However, just this bit of strength was not enough. He raised his palm and was about to attack. At this moment, the 1-pound Lin Xian also stepped forward. He raised his finger and a sharp sword wave flew out. Since the other party dared to make a move, they couldn't blame him. Buzz, the sword chi pierced through the clouds, and a terrifying light filled the area. A terrifying force surged out. The fleeing martialists felt their scalps go numb when they saw this scene. Who was this person? He actually dared to attack Yuan Kuan. Did he not want to live anymore? These martial artists were very surprised. They were all from the Western Desert. Naturally, they knew this young monk and his reputation. Most likely, no one in the younger generation would dare to compete with him. However, this brat in front of him actually dared to make a move. He was simply too bold. Courting death, Fang's young monk was also enraged. A piercingly cold light surfaced in his eyes as countless runes rose from his palm. He slammed his palm down and shattered the terrifying sword chi. However, his palm was also numb from the impact. This surprised him. The other party was very strong. So strong that it was beyond his expectations. "Who are you?" he asked coldly. Judging from the other party's appearance, he should not be an unknown person. He should be a young prodigy. However, he knew all the young prodigies in the Western Desert. The other party was a stranger. He had never seen him before. "Now you know how to ask me who I am?" Too late. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The other party had threatened to kill them. How could he tolerate that? So now, he waved his arm and flicked his fingers. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Sword chi flew out one after another. Yuan Kuan roared angrily. The other party dared to attack him. He was courting death. "Kid, do you think you can be arrogant in front of me just because you have some strength? Today, I'll send you to hell. He formed a Buddhist seal with his palm. The Buddhist light on his body shone quickly and a terrifying force surged out. However, Lin Xian's sword chi was also very powerful. The sword flew out and illuminated the area as if it had turned into a swimming dragon. Boom! The Buddhist light on Yuan Kuan's body flickered. He formed a Buddhist seal with his hand and slammed it out. It collided with the sword chi again. The sky collapsed and the earth cracked. A terrifying light swept in all directions. With this palm strike, he still managed to shatter the sword chi. However, the numbness in his arm became even more severe. Moreover, what shocked him even more was that the third, fourth, and fifth sword were flying towards him one after another. Damn it, who was this person? Was he a peerless swordsman? Why was the other party's sword chi so powerful? Yuan Kuan was extremely surprised because he realized that the sword chi was not released by a peerless treasure. It was casually flicked out by the other party. This meant that the other party should not have used his full strength. Thinking of this, his expression was extremely cold. In the distance, the martial artists who were running away also felt their scalps go numb. In their opinion, since the other party dared to fight with Yuan Kuan, he would definitely be slapped to death. But who would have thought that the other party could actually fight with Yuan Kuan? This was really beyond their expectations. Who was this kid? Could it be that he was a peerless prodigy from some large family? It was very likely. However, no matter how talented he was dead for daring to provoke Yuan Kuan. Yuan Kuan was a top genius of White Horse Temple. His Buddhist skills were extremely terrifying. That kid was so strong. A casual flick of the sword chi had such power. He must be a peerless swordsman. Everyone discussed animatedly. At this moment, Lin Xian made his move again. This time, he pulled out the ancient dragon abyss sword. A terrifying sword light rushed into the sky. The sword slashed down. It cut the entire sky into two halves. The pitch-black crack was like an endless canyon. It was also the first time Yuan Kuan's expression changed. This sword chi was too strong. So this time, he did not resist it head-on. Instead, his body swayed and he quickly dodged. Relying on his super powerful dermic powers, he dodged the sword. However, at this moment, his eyelids twitched wildly, because he felt an extremely terrifying power coming from behind him. Not good. In the next moment, he suddenly turned around and struck out with his palm. Boom. He was forced back, his aura tumbling. That damned snake. He gritted his teeth in anger. That's right. The one who attacked him from behind was the Crimson Dragon. The Crimson Dragon sent the other party flying with its tail and immediately sneered. Are we ants? Do we have a death wish? Kid, before you make a move, you should find out who we are. Do you think that you can contend against us with just you alone? The Crimson Dragon was also gritting its teeth in anger. The other party was too arrogant. He wanted to kill them as soon as he appeared. They were only retaliating to teach the other party a lesson. No way. This snake is also so powerful? When the warriors in the distance saw this scene, they were extremely shocked. Who are these people? They're so powerful. Yuan Kuan's face was gloomy. Damn it, the other party is also a super expert. This is indeed beyond my expectations. However, he snorted coldly. Do you think the two of you can defeat me if you join forces? Stupid ants, I'll tear you into pieces today. Chapter 2661. Cut them into pieces? Lin Xian sneered. What a ruthless heart. You want to cut us into pieces without any enmity? Are you really a Buddhist? I think even the demons and demons aren't as ruthless as you, right? How can someone like you be called a Buddha? The Crimson Dragon sneered as well. No matter what you two say, you two won't be able to escape death today. Yuan Kuan's expression was cold as Buddhist light spread out from his body. His hands danced non-stop as mysterious runes flickered around him one after another. Countless golden runes flickered as if forming a mysterious world that swallowed all the sword light. Yuan Kuan stood in the void with a cold expression. What a powerful Buddhist divine power. It could actually swallow such a terrifying sword chi. Yes, this Yuan Kuan was too terrifying. The cultivators in the distance exclaimed when they saw this scene. Some of them had flickering eyes, wondering how the man and the snake were going to counterattack. They swallowed it all? Lin Xian was also surprised. He didn't expect the other party to be so powerful. No wonder he was so arrogant and told everyone to get lost the moment he came. But so what? He had even killed an invincible king, let alone a mere young monk. Next, he waved the ancient dragon abyss sword, and terrifying sword chi flew out one after another. They were densely packed and crisscrossed between heaven and earth. It's useless. You can't hurt me at all. Yuan Kuan stood in the void. The golden runes around him formed a world that swallowed all the sword chi. He looked at this scene and sneered. Is that so? How do you think my sword chi is so easy to swallow? Lin Xian snorted. The power of the great dragon sword spirit was not something that could be easily swallowed. Sure enough, not long after, Yuan Kuan's expression changed. His figure flashed and instantly disappeared. The mysterious world formed by the golden runes exploded with a bang. Thousands of sword chi pierced out and shattered the place where Yuan Kuan was originally standing. It formed a terrifying black hole. Damn it, it actually came out. How was this possible? Although Yuan Kuan wasn't injured, he hid to the side with an extremely ugly expression. He found it hard to believe that the other party had broken his divine power so easily. The people in the distance screamed as if they had seen a ghost. What kind of sword technique was this sword chi? This was too terrifying. That's right, he was actually able to break through even Yuan Kuan's sacred art, and from the looks of it, he was able to do it so easily. Incredible. He was definitely a peerless swordsman. It seems that if I don't show my true strength, you guys really don't know what's good for you. Yuan Kuan walked up and spat out a golden pagoda. The pagoda was 6 stories high, and it was engraved with very simple runes. As soon as it appeared, it emitted a heavy aura. Boom, boom. Strands of Buddhist light flowed out and pierced through the void. The people in the distance discussed animatedly. With a boom, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Energy erupted, and this palm drowned out the world. Ha 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 ha. This reckless kid dares to attack me? Yuan Kuan retreated into the sky and looked down coldly. Now that this kid was dealt with, it was time to deal with this snake. His gaze was like lightning as he stared at the crimson dragon. How dare he fight with him? How ignorant. The crimson dragon's eyes flickered, revealing a trace of a sneer. He didn't pay attention to Yuan Kuan at all. In the energy storm that filled the sky, a cold voice sounded. Is this your strength? You're really pitifully weak. What? As soon as these words came out, Yuan Kuan was stunned. The people in the distance were even more stunned. That was the other party's voice. He didn't die, and from the looks of it, he didn't seem to have suffered much damage. How was that possible? Damn it, that was impossible. Yuan Kuan roared angrily. With a wave of his hand, a pair of golden hands stretched out and tore the void apart. The storm that filled the sky also disappeared. In the next moment, his eyes widened because the figure in front of him appeared. His body was shining brightly, and he wasn't injured at all. Impossible. Yuan Kuan was stunned. Even a late-stage 8-star mighty figure couldn't block his palm. The other party was hit head-on and suffered this blow, but he was still unharmed? It was really beyond his expectations. Even if he didn't die, he should be seriously injured. However, there was no blood on the other party's body, not a single crack. The power of the 9-yang divine body had increased again. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes, his heart filled with joy. In the next moment, a piercing light burst out from his eyes. Next, I'll let you have a taste of my attack. At this point, he took a step forward, and the 9-yang divine body erupted. The storm that filled the sky tore through the void. At this moment, he was like a sun god of war as he charged forward. As he walked, the void collapsed, and the mountain range below kept shattering. Just a trace of the aftermath caused such a terrifying scene. This scene made Yuan Kuan's heart beat rapidly. Chapter 2662. Bang! A golden fist streaked across the sky, causing countless cracks to appear in the void. Yuan Kuan jumped in fright, and hastily summoned the six-floored pagoda to his side to block. Dang! The sound of collision resounded. The distant martial artists bled from their ears, and many of them fainted. As for those who were still conscious, their faces were filled with fear. They saw the six-floored pagoda being sent flying, spinning in the sky and leaving Yuan Kuan's range. Heavens! That golden pagoda was at least a mid-grade heaven step artifact, yet it was sent flying with a single punch. What kind of power did this kid have? What fist? Saint Body. He had Eastern Wasteland's Saint Body. Someone cried out in alarm. They couldn't think of anyone with such a terrifying physique apart from a Saint Body. Facing a mid-grade heaven step artifact barehandedly, he wasn't at a disadvantage. It couldn't be. Wasn't it rumored that the Saint Body had just been chased down by the mysterious organization and was recuperating in the Yi family? How could he appear now? These people also knew about Yi Daodinier's matter, as it had already spread throughout the entire True Spirit continent. Therefore, they were all shocked. A few older generation figures shook their heads. No, he wasn't a Saint Body. We've seen a portrait of a Saint Body, and it definitely wasn't him. Then, who was he? Was there a physique comparable to a Saint Body in the world? Of course there was. An older generation figure said in a deep voice. Although a Saint Body was powerful and astonishing, it wasn't impossible to stand shoulder to shoulder with him. One had to know that the True Spirit continent was too vast. No one knew how big it was, and no one knew how many terrifying geniuses there were in this world. Apart from Saint Bodies, there were many other terrifying physiques. For example, Gu family's divine body. Demonic race, those powerful demonic kings with heaven-defying bloodlines. Take my Western Desert, for example. There are several body refining techniques that are extremely terrifying. 60 Zhang golden body, indestructible golden body, 9 transformations golden body. Once it was refined, it would be extremely terrifying and incomparable. Indeed, many people nodded their heads after hearing this. Western Desert was the holy land of Buddhism, and Buddhism placed great importance on the cultivation of the body. Basically, every peak holy land of Buddhism had an extremely terrifying body refining technique. However, the body refining technique of Buddhism was extremely obvious. Once it was used, it would release Buddhist light and even Buddhist chants. However, although his body was also emitting boundless light, it was not the Buddhist light. Thus, they knew that he was not cultivating a Buddhist body refinement technique. Instead, it was a technique that they had never heard of before. Or perhaps, he possessed an extremely terrifying bloodline power. Boom! Just as these people were discussing intensely, Lin Xian's second punch came. Damn it! Yuan Kuan's pupil shrank. After witnessing the terror of the first punch, he didn't dare to take it head-on. His figure flickered, and countless afterimages appeared in the sky as he retreated rapidly. At the same time, he waved his hand and summoned the golden pagoda that had been sent flying backward, preparing to attack again. Phew, this punch had indeed missed. However, when the frightening energy swept across Yuan Kuan's body, it caused him to feel a burning pain. Brat, you've really pissed me off. Today, I will let you experience the great powers of my White Horse Temple. Yuan Kuan's expression was ferocious. He had never suffered such a blow. Therefore, he was prepared to take it seriously. However, in the next moment, his eyelids twitched violently. This was because an unparalleled power had erupted from his opponent's sword. There was even the roar of a dragon. His expression became extremely ugly because his opponent's sword chi was even more terrifying than the golden fist. As expected, when the sword slashed out, his entire body turned cold. The golden pagoda in his hand was sent flying again. Cracks also appeared on the kasaya on his body. He simply couldn't believe what he was seeing. This kasaya was also a treasure, but it couldn't withstand the other party's sword light. This was only the aftermath of the energy. If the other party's sword had slashed his body, he would probably have been cut open. Thinking of this, he quickly retreated. Brat, who are you? Tell me your name. However, what answered him was a cold and merciless sword light. Damn it! Yuan Kuan roared angrily and quickly dodged. Just you wait. My White Horse Temple will definitely not let you off. Yuan Kuan was so angry that he vomited blood. This time, he had really lost. It made him lose face. However, protecting his life was more important. He was prepared to leave. When he returned, he would bring a few terrifying forbidden artifacts and come back to fight with the other party. You want to leave? Seeing this scene, Lin Xian sneered. Weren't you very arrogant when you descended previously? Didn't you tell us to scram? Why are you scramming now? Hearing this, the escaping Yuan Kuan's body trembled and he spat out a mouthful of blood. He was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. Indeed, when he came previously, he was extremely arrogant and didn't take anyone seriously. That was because he had the right to be arrogant. At such a young age, he could already kill a late-stage 8-star powerhouse. In fact, not many people below the invincible king realm were his match. Other than a few other terrifying young prodigies of the Buddhist sects, he really didn't take anyone seriously. Therefore, after he arrived, he immediately cleared the place. He didn't want others to disturb him. However, he didn't know that when he cleared the place this time, the ant in his eyes turned out to be an extremely terrifying prodigy. This time, he had really kicked an iron plate. How dare you stop me? Seeing the other party cut off the path in front of him with a sword, Yuan Kuan turned his head and roared. Why wouldn't I dare? Lin Xian's body was filled with murderous intent. Yuan Kuan frowned when he saw the other party's murderous intent. He sneered. Let me tell you, I'm from the White Horse Temple. Moreover, I'm a top prodigy of the White Horse Temple. If he revealed his identity, the other party would definitely not dare to make a move on him. The White Horse Temple was one of the Buddhist sacred grounds of the Western Desert. It was not inferior to the sacred grounds of the Eastern Wilderness. As one of the top 10 prodigies of the White Horse Temple, his status was naturally noble. If anything happened to him, the White Horse Temple would definitely not let him off. White Horse Temple? I've never heard of it. Are you the White Horse Temple successor? As he spoke, Lin Xian slashed out with his sword again. This sword transformed into a huge dragon that instantly flew out and slashed Yuan Kuan's body. It sent him flying. Yuan Kuan's body was directly cut open. Blood spurted out and dyed the void red. Yuan Kuan screamed and retreated crazily. At the same time, his broken body quickly healed with Buddhist light. In the end, he was completely intact. However, his face was abnormally pale. Blood was still splattering in the sky. This scene made the people in the distance go crazy. He's making a move. He's really making a move. Heavens, isn't he really planning to kill the other party? Who is he? He's too terrifying. Isn't he afraid of the White Horse Temple's revenge? He shouldn't be from the Western Desert. The eyes of some of the older generation flickered. He's probably a top prodigy from the other continents. It seems that Yuan Kuan has been defeated this time. Chapter 2663. Is he a top genius from another continent? The cultivators gasped. Yuan Kuan's face was ferocious. Kid, how dare you hurt me? Before he could finish his sentence, he turned around and fled. That was because the other party had attacked again. After witnessing how powerful the other party was, how would Yuan Kuan dare to attack him again? He immediately used a Buddhist grand divine ability. Boundless Buddhist light formed 2 golden wings that quickly spread out behind him. He tore through the void and ran into the distance. Trying to leave? Lin Xian used Heavenly Dragon's 8 steps. A dragon shadow appeared under his feet and brought him through the void quickly. The two of them quickly left reclining Buddha Ridge one after another. Seeing this scene, the Crimson Dragon also followed behind. The others were stunned. Heavens, is the other party really going to kill us? They were extremely shocked. They also followed behind, wanting to watch the battle. But soon, they lost track of them. That was because the two of them were simply too fast. The cultivators could not see it, but the other cultivators could see it. Many cultivators looked up at the sky. Heavens, someone is fighting a great battle. It should be a late-stage 8-star powerhouse. No, it's 2 young people. 2 young prodigies. Why does the one running at the front look so familiar? Damn it, isn't he Yuan Kuan from White Horse Temple? He's a top genius. Why is he being chased? Who's chasing him? For a moment, everyone was stunned. Yuan Kuan is being chased? Who is it? They all looked at the figure behind him. He's so young and unfamiliar. I don't know him. If he's not a Buddhist, which family is he from? These people discussed animatedly. Bang! Just at this moment, they saw a shocking sword light flash out and slash Yuan Kuan's body, sending him flying and vomiting blood. Blood pierced through the void. This scene made everyone's scalp tingle. It's too powerful. Kid, just you wait. I won't let you go. Yuan Kuan's kasaya was covered in blood. His face was ferocious. He gritted his teeth and took out a Buddhist light wheel. The bright light enveloped him, and he disappeared completely. Seeing this, Lin Xian did not attack again, because the other party had used a life-saving trump card. The next time we meet, I won't let you leave so easily. He snorted coldly and did not pursue. A mere genius was no threat to him at all. Thinking of this, he turned his head to look at the crimson dragon flying behind him. Let's go. The crimson dragon nodded. With a wave of its dragon claw, it grabbed a few cultivators beside it. The martial artists were scared out of their wits. They quickly begged for mercy. Hero, please don't kill us. We are just passing by. Don't be nervous. I won't kill you. You just have to tell me how to get to Lanrua Temple. Lanrua Temple? These people were shocked. The other party had just beaten up a genius from White Horse Temple, and now he was going to Lanrua Temple? What was he trying to do? Could it be that they also wanted to declare war on Lanrua Temple? They didn't know, but they didn't have time to think about it. One of them hurriedly took out a scroll. It was a map that contained the way to Lanrua Temple. Lin Xian probed with his soul and found a map. Then, he waved his hand and let them go. They hurriedly left. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon turned into two streaks of light and disappeared. Yuan Kuan had been injured and fled. This created quite a huge commotion that quickly spread. Even Lanrua Temple knew about it. This made them very nervous. Not long ago, the Yi family's sacred physique was hunted down in the eastern wilderness. Now, a genius from White Horse Temple in the western desert was being hunted down. This was very shocking. Could it be that the mysterious faction was going to make a move on a genius from the western desert? They were all on high alert. After the people from White Horse Temple learned about it, they quickly sent experts to rescue Yuan Kuan. At the same time, they quickly searched and decided to kill the culprit. However, after searching for a while, they did not find any traces of Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon. This made them grit their teeth in anger. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon also arrived at Lanrua Temple. At this moment, Lanrua Temple was still shining with Buddhist light, and many runes appeared around it. Obviously, they had also become cautious. The arrival of Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon caused 6 monks to walk out of the light. They held the Chi Mei staff in their hands and looked forward coldly. The people stopped. Who are you? Why are you here at Lanrua Temple? They were extremely nervous. Lin Xian said in a deep voice, I am Lin Xian, the master of the Immortal Temple. I am a good friend of your saint, Wu Hua. Lin Xian? The Immortal Temple? Hearing that, the 6 monks' expressions changed. Please wait a moment. We will report it. They hurriedly went to report it. Not long after, a loud laugh was heard. Countless Buddhist runes formed a Buddhist flower and dragged a young monk away quickly. Brother Lin, haha, it's you. Long time no see. After seeing Lin Xian, Wu Hua exclaimed in surprise. They met again. Lin Xian also smiled. Brother Lin, come with me. Wu Hua waved his kasaya, and all the Buddhist arrays immediately opened up a path. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon followed in. Wu Hua brought the two of them to a quiet place. There were mountains, rivers, and courtyards here. Come, Brother Lin, try the spiritual tea that I brewed myself. The two of them came to the stone pavilion and sat down. There were 4 exquisite dishes on the stone table. They were all vegetarian dishes, and there was a pot of spiritual tea next to them. Delicious. Lin Xian tasted it and found it surprisingly delicious. He didn't expect Brother Wu Hua to have such skills. The Crimson Dragon at the side finished all the food. Little monk, Do you have more? He was very happy. Wu Hua said with a smile. Yes, I have enough. Soon, he waved his hand, and exquisite dishes appeared on the table again. At the same time, he took out a guqin and gently played it. The sound of the guqin was pleasant and very comfortable. It even carried a mysterious power. Lin Xian felt that he had entered an unprecedentedly relaxed and peaceful state. The Crimson Dragon at the side was also surprised. This Wu Hua was really amazing. His attainments in the Buddhist Dharma were so high. He would probably become a holy monk in the future. The sound of the guqin here was melodious. On the other side, the sound of the guqin was also pleasant. This was a mountain. A man in a blue robe was holding a phoenix guqin in his hand and gently playing it. Around him, cranes were flying and spiritual rabbits were walking everywhere. Obviously, they were all attracted by the sound of the guqin. Whoosh! Suddenly, at this time, not far from him, the ground bulged, and then a head stretched out from the ground. This head was very strange. It was completely wrapped in black fog, and its face could not be seen clearly. As soon as he appeared, he looked at the man in blue in front of him. The plan has failed. Our people have all been killed. Hearing this, the man in blue stopped. Suddenly, the sound of the guqin also gradually stopped. When the sound of the guqin stopped, the cranes and spiritual rabbits around all ran away. When the black-robed man appeared before, they were not afraid. But now that the sound of the guqin disappeared, these little spiritual beasts all left. Around, only the trees were shaking, the young man in blue, and this mysterious head. Chapter 2664. I've already heard about it. The entire eastern wasteland, and even the true spirit world, is abuzz. But I'm curious. We've been planning for so long, and we've mobilized so much power to get such a good opportunity. Logically speaking, Leaf Doudinier should have died without a doubt. But why is he still alive? The blue-robed man's voice was cold and emotionless. His robes were adorned with 108 stars that flickered in and out of existence. We've been very successful, and Leaf Doudinier has been seriously injured. He should have been killed soon. But then a brat jumped out and completely disrupted our plans. Brat? What brat? The blue-robed man frowned. He had found the crux of the problem. Lin Xian, the master of Immortal Palace. He was the one who brought a few experts from Immortal Palace to save Leaf Doudinier, ultimately causing our plan to fail. Lin Xian, the master of Immortal Palace? It was actually him. The blue-robed man's eyes flashed coldly. How could he have appeared at a time like this? I don't know, but the plan we've been working on for so many years was ruined by him. The black head radiated a shocking, killing intent. Could it be that Leaf Doudinier was destined to die? The blue-robed man stood up, clasped his hands behind his back, and looked up at the sky. Yang Qi sighed. After this, it would be very difficult to kill Leaf Doudinier again. But if Leaf Doudinier was allowed to grow, it would be a very troublesome problem. What should we do? Should we give up? The blackhead asked. The blue-robed man shook his head. Give up? How could that be? Leaf Doudinier might be powerful, but it'll take him a long time to truly grow. He might be heavily protected, but if we can't do it in the dark, we can do it in the open. Let all the young geniuses of the world challenge him. I refuse to believe that he'll win every battle. It seems you've got a plan. The blackhead nodded. But what about that Lin Xian brat? This time, he ruined our plan. Should we send someone to deal with him? No need. It's not convenient for us to show our faces. Find someone to contact the infernal realm and have them attack. Let's not make any moves for now. I'll make some arrangements. Wait for my news. All right, I'll contact the infernal realm and have them attack that brat. The blackhead drilled into the ground and disappeared. The crack in the ground healed once again. The blue-clothed man's eyes flickered. His eyes were like the incomparably deep starry sky. Lin Xian? Let's see what qualifications you have to mess up my plan. Lin Xian had no idea that he was being targeted by the same mysterious organization that had killed Leaf Doudinier. He was currently discussing with Wu Hua. When Wu Hua found out the purpose of Lin Xian's visit, he was extremely surprised. Soon, he found the abbot of Lanrua Temple and quickly explained the situation. Lanrua Temple also treated them with great respect. In the end, both sides also formed an alliance. Brother Lin didn't want to stay here any longer. Seeing that Lin Xian was in a hurry to leave, Wu Hua urged him to stay. Lin Xian shook his head. This matter is urgent. We should make preparations and then join forces to hold a meeting to announce the news of the dragon nest to the world. Don't worry, Lanrua Temple will definitely do our best in this matter. Both sides waved goodbye. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon soared into the sky. The two of them left Lanrua Temple and prepared to return to the reclining Buddha Ridge to meditate for a while. Then, they would open the door and return to the Immortal Palace. This time, Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon Spirit's meditation went smoothly. About a month later, on this day, Lin Xian opened his eyes. He had made some progress in his meditation. He felt that his understanding of martial arts had deepened. Not only that, his mastery of various divine abilities was more proficient than before. On the side, the Crimson Dragon also had some gains. However, at this moment, Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon's eyelids suddenly twitched. Then, the void split open, and two shadows quickly attacked. Whoosh, 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 dang, an earth-shattering sound was heard. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon were forced back. They knocked over two mountains and fell into endless ruins. Damn it! Who dares to attack Bin Huang? A dragon's roar rang out as countless rocks were blasted away. The dark red dragon flew out, baring its fangs and brandishing its claws. On the other side, Lin Xian also smashed all the rocks with a punch and walked out. Golden runes appeared in his eyes and swept in all directions. Who was it? Was it Yuan Kuan, who brought the people from Whitehorse Temple? If they didn't know what was good for them, he didn't mind sending them on their way. Lin Xian was stunned. No, it wasn't a monk. It wasn't the people from Whitehorse Temple. It should be a group of assassins. Because he realized that these people were hiding in the void and constantly changing their positions. If he didn't have the heavenly secret divine eyes, he wouldn't have noticed them. What a terrifying assassination technique. The two blurry figures in front of him were also surprised. They didn't die, and they weren't injured. The two of them were too shocked, because the attack just now was a sure kill attack. They could even kill a late-stage 8-star powerhouse with one strike. However, the two of them were only sent flying and knocked over two mountains. They were not injured. Could it be that the other party was wearing some kind of treasure armor? Damn it! It was the two of you who ambushed Bin Huang? The Crimson Dragon stared at the two shadow-like assassins. He waved his dragon claws and covered the front. With a bang, the void shattered, but the two figures calmly dodged. Their speed was very fast, so fast that it was hard to believe. They actually dodged. Damn it, I'll burn you to death. The Crimson Dragon opened its mouth and spewed out dragon flames that completely enveloped the void. Now, it was no longer a problem that could be solved by speed. However, the two ghostly figures disappeared into the void with a swoosh. Concealment technique. The Crimson Dragon was shocked. If they weren't from the Gu family, then they were assassins. And they weren't ordinary assassins. Kid, we've been targeted. Can you tell which organization the assassins are from? Lin Xian's eyes lit up as he looked in all directions. I can't tell, but judging from the other party's speed and this kind of assassination technique, I guess it should be the people from the three major assassin divine dynasties. The three major assassin divine dynasties? Lin Xian's expression was solemn. He had fought with the assassins from the three major assassin divine dynasties before. At that time, he did feel a strong sense of danger. He didn't expect that after so many years, the other party would make a move again. However, he knew that the other party wouldn't take the initiative to attack. Someone must have spent a lot of money to assassinate him. That was why the assassins took action. But who was it? Who wanted to assassinate him? He didn't know, because there were too many people who wanted to kill him. The Yin-Yang sect, the Five Elements Palace, the Tai dynasty, and the War Tribe were all possible. Since he couldn't think of anyone, he could only capture two and search their souls. Whoosh! Thinking of this, the void on Lin Xian's left shattered again. A black longsword pierced over. There were no signs before, and it was very fast. In an instant, Lin Xian's body was pierced. Chapter 2665. Puff. The long sword pierced through. The Crimson Dragon was also shocked, but soon he breathed a sigh of relief. Because there was no blood spilled. Not good. The Shadow Assassin was also stunned. Then he withdrew his long sword and quickly retreated. He knew that what he stabbed was not the other party's real body, but an afterimage. It was just that the afterimage was so fast that even he did not recognize it. Whoosh! The afterimage disappeared, and Lin Xian's real body appeared in the same place as if he had never left. This scene made the Shadow Assassin extremely shocked. The other party's speed was just too fast. Did he want to leave? Lin Xian stretched out a big hand and grabbed in front of him. The terrifying palm carried endless light, shattering the void. The terrifying power was like an ocean, shrouding the Shadow Assassin. Get out of here! The Shadow Assassin roared, and his long sword turned into lightning, slashing at Lin Xian's palm. Every sword cut through the void and could injure a peerless almighty. However, such a terrifying sword light clashed with the shining palm, splashing countless sparks, but it could not hurt the palm. Damn it! How was this possible? The Shadow Assassin was shocked, and the assassins hiding in the dark also exclaimed. Not good, body training technique. This kid had an extremely powerful body training technique. His physique was very strong. Everyone had to be careful when they assassinated. These people quickly transmitted their voices, and the others looked even more dignified. The eyes of these assassins bloomed with a biting cold light, trying to find Lin Xian's weakness. Lin Xian's big hand shook, and his palm seemed to turn into a thunder hammer. With a boom, it directly smashed the long sword in half. Whoosh! In the next moment, the thunder hammer palm turned into the azure dragon palm, enveloping the Shadow Assassin. Damn it! Get out of here! The assassin roared, and an endless murderous aura rushed out of his body, piercing through the 9 heavens and 10 earths. However, he could not do anything to this palm. Lin Xian looked down and asked coldly, Speak, who sent you to kill me? Don't even think about it, we won't sell out the buyer's information. The Shadow Assassin roared. In the next moment, the endless killing intent on his body turned into a black sea. A ferocious ghost face rushed out from his body. His palm shot towards Lin Xian. Not only was this ghost face's murderous aura extremely heavy, it also carried an incomparably gloomy and cold aura, as if it had rushed out from hell. The infernal realm was the infernal realm of assassins. Seeing this scene, the Crimson Dragon screamed, because this aura was too obvious. Lin Xian's eyes also flashed with a fierce light. Hell's dynasty of assassins? If you don't want to talk, I'll search your soul myself. 2 rays of piercingly cold sword chi shot out from his eyes, directly destroying the ghost face. At the same time, a golden rune flashed and forcibly extracted his soul. That assassin from hell screamed miserably. It was clear that the collision of souls had caused him too much damage. However, it didn't take long for his head to explode, and his soul to shatter into pieces. The yin-yang qi under Lin Xian's feet spun, bringing him back quickly. His 9-yang divine body blocked all the energy impact. However, his expression was somewhat ugly, because, as soon as he collected the soul, an extremely terrifying seal in the assassin's mind exploded. Obviously, this was set up in advance by the Hell's dynasty of assassins. Their purpose was to prevent others from searching their souls. These assassins had extremely powerful seals in their bodies. Once they were in danger of death, they would explode with a loud bang. They wouldn't leave any clues for others to follow. The Crimson Dragon said from the side, Damn it, how could they be so cautious? Lin Xian's expression was gloomy. It couldn't be helped. The 3 great assassin dynasties had been passed down since ancient times, and had been passed down for so long. They must have endless secrets. They would not allow such secrets to be leaked. Not even a trace of it was allowed. Is that so? If that's the case, then there's nothing to worry about. I can only kill all of these assassins. Lin Xian's body shone brightly, and a murderous aura erupted from his eyes. Since the other party had come to kill him, He would not show any mercy. Get out here, all of you. His cold shout shook the 9 heavens. However, the Hell's assassins were very experienced, and their emotions would not be affected by personal feelings. Although their companions were killed, they did not act rashly. They were still lurking in the void, waiting to find the driver. As expected of the people of the ancient dynasty of assassins, they were indeed terrifying. You don't want to come out, right? Do you think I can't find you if you don't come out? A golden vortex appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. He suddenly turned around and threw a punch behind him. Boom! A terrifying power accompanied the punch and directly blasted the void behind him. The 2 Hell's assassins were forced out. The 2 men's expressions changed. Damn it! How did he find out? Impossible. He must be dreaming. The 2 of them attacked decisively. Black Sword Chi fell from the sky and slashed toward Lin Xian. The terrifying murderous aura made even peerless almighties tremble. Obviously, these assassins were very terrifying. Lin Xian also used all his strength to face the attack. He used the Heavenly Fighting Divine Fist and the 9 Yang Divine Body. Boom! The sword chi that filled the sky was constantly shattered. Whoosh! 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 However, at this moment, 4 more shadow assassins appeared from behind and directly attacked his back. For a moment, Lin Xian was attacked from the front and back. It had to be said that the timing of these 4 people was too exquisite. Just as Lin Xian punched out, the 4 of them took action. This was the time when warriors were the most relaxed. Their alive slain technique was indeed incomparably terrifying. Kid, be careful. The Crimson Dragon let out a long roar and was about to attack. However, he was also surrounded by 4 assassins from Hell, firmly surrounding him. Get lost. With the 4 assassins fighting, Lin Xian's side was in great danger. Just a mere assassin. You want to kill me? Lin Xian shouted coldly as the dragon sword domain surged out. Behind him, it turned into a huge sword and slashed out. With a clang, the 4 assassins were sent flying. The 2 assassins in front were also sent flying by a punch. The 6 top assassins spat out large mouthfuls of blood, their faces filled with shock. Damn it, he's too strong. The other party was too strong. In an instant, he had injured 6 top assassins. This made them feel incredulous. One had to know that they had already estimated the other party's strength and ranked him as a top existence among the Holy Sons. Moreover, as a precaution, they had sent out a large number of top assassins this time. Killing any peerless almighties was not a problem. They were even confident that they could kill an invincible king, because other than these assassins, there were even more terrifying existences. Lin Xian stood in the air, looking disdainfully in all directions. Just 6 assassins, and you dare to kill me? You really don't know life from death. Today, all of you will die. Chapter 2666. His eyes shone with a cold light. However, at this moment, a cold and merciless power came from the sky. A large black palm descended from the sky. It completely enveloped Lin Xian. At the same time, countless black gas appeared around him, forming hell and sealing off Lin Xian's escape route. In the sky, on the ground, in all directions, there were terrifying attacks. Lin Xian was completely sealed. Not good. Seeing this scene, the Crimson Dragon's expression changed because he felt that this power was too terrifying. Damn it, this assassin's power is too terrifying. He did not expect that the assassins from Hell would send out such a powerful existence. This energy was too terrifying. The entire world was trembling rapidly. Even a peerless almighty would not be able to escape death. Only an invincible king would be able to escape such an attack. Therefore, when they saw this scene, the 6 assassins from Hell sneered. What a reckless brat. You dare to go against the infernal realm? Now, you can die obediently. He would definitely die if the elders made a move. Get lost. Lin Xian roared angrily. He used the 9 Yang Divine Constitution to the limit. Dazzling light bloomed, making him look like a god of war. He held the ancient dragon abyss sword with both hands and slashed down. Endless lightning surged, and a terrifying chaotic aura filled the air. The terrifying power of the 5 forms swept across the sky. He used the 3 heaven-grade sword techniques to the extreme. At this moment, the sky and earth were destroyed. Boom, boom. A loud dragon's roar rang out as the surrounding infernal realm was sliced into pieces by him. The giant palm in the sky was also pierced by the 2 dragon-shaped sword chi. However, this palm strike was truly too terrifying. Even though it was pierced, it still fell and crashed into Lin Xian like an ancient demonic mountain. This brat is not simple. He can actually destroy such a terrifying hell and penetrate our elder's palm of light. His strength was simply too terrifying. Yes, it's probably not inferior to the Eastern Wilderness sacred body. The assassins from hell discussed in low voices. Some assassins sneered. So what? No matter how powerful he is, he can't escape death in the end. There are more than 10 million prodigies in hell. Yes, that's right. Once you're dead, you're nothing. No matter how talented you are, you will only become a corpse in the end. The men sneered. Boom, boom. An earth-shattering sound rang out as the light in front of him exploded. Lin Xian's body flew backwards like a meteor as he crashed into a dozen mountains. Few in the sky, a black-robed old man walked out. His aura was powerful. Seeing this, the Crimson Dragon was shocked. An invincible king. It turned out to be an invincible king-level assassin. It was too terrifying. Such an assassin could kill other invincible kings. Furthermore, the alive-slain method of these people was very terrifying. In a head-on confrontation, that kid was probably in danger. However, the Crimson Dragon knew that Lin Xian might be injured, but it was impossible for him to be killed. Boom. Sure enough, in the next moment, the ground split open and Lin Xian rose into the air. His black hair fluttered in the wind, and his eyes were sharp. There were traces of blood on his body. That palm strike had indeed injured him. Not only did he have external injuries, but he also had internal injuries. However, the longevity art quickly circulated and repaired him. The 9-yang divine body released billions of rays of light. Lin Xian's eyes were like lightning as he stared at the black-robed old man in the distance. An invincible king-level assassin? You guys really think highly of me. He didn't expect that the Hell Assassins would have such a lineup to kill him, a saint-level genius. They actually sent an invincible king-level assassin. Who was it that wanted him to die so badly? What? He's fine. That's impossible. The Hell Assassins were all stunned as they looked at this scene in disbelief. The other party had received a palm strike from their invincible elder. How could he still be alive? One had to know that the gap between an invincible king and a peerless almighty was huge. With a palm strike, a peerless almighty had no chance of survival. However, the other party was only injured and didn't die. This was beyond their expectations. The invincible assassin was also stunned. What was going on? Was it the Taoist robe on his body? He looked at the flaming Taoist robe and shook his head. No, it wasn't a Taoist robe. A Taoist robe couldn't block my palm. Could it be that this kid had a special body tempering technique? But so what? The gap between the two sides was too big. He didn't believe that the other party could escape from his hands. In the next moment, the invincible king-level assassin sneered. Kid, you've exceeded my expectations. To think that he was able to survive my attack. However, that was all. Everything was over. This time, there was absolutely no chance of survival. As he said that, he raised his palm again. The spirit energy within a radius of tens of thousands of miles gathered towards his palm. An incomparably dark palm with a biting, cold, murderous aura pushed out horizontally. Humph. Lin Xian snorted coldly and used the chaotic yin-yang steps to dodge quickly. The void around him was completely shattered, and the mountains below collapsed. It was a scene of apocalypse. Of all the places, only the giant Buddha was intact. Lin Xian dodged the palm and was sent flying by the palm wind. Countless sword chi rushed out of his body and destroyed the force. He only stopped after flying for 2,000 to 3,000 miles. He didn't die again? The people of Assassin Divine Dynasty were stunned, and the invincible king-level assassin's face darkened. Previously, He was extremely confident and didn't put the other party in his eyes, threatening to kill the other party with one palm. But now, after 2 palms, the other party was still alive. This was a slap to his face. Let's see how long you can hide. The invincible king-level assassin attacked crazily, and one terrifying palm after another flew towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian used the chaotic yin-yang steps and turned into a yin-yang light, shuttling between the countless palm shadows. After more than 10 palms, Lin Xian was still alive, and the invincible king-level assassin's face was completely pale. Damn kid, you've completely angered me. With a wave of his palm, a pitch-black hell domain flew out and enveloped the surroundings. At the same time, he pulled out a killing sword, and the murderous aura on his body suddenly erupted. It seemed that he was really determined to kill. Lin Xian looked at the other party and sneered. Old thing, do you think you can kill me? Kid, don't be so eloquent. Today, you will definitely die. You won't be able to escape from my palm. The invincible king-level assassin snorted coldly, and the other king-level assassin sneered. Idiot kid, how dare you be arrogant in front of our elder? You really don't know what's good for you. That's right. Our elder has assassinated several invincible king-level assassins. Do you really think you can survive this? Do you really know the power of an invincible king-level assassin? These people sneered and looked at Lin Xian as if they were looking at an idiot. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Is that so? In my opinion, you're the ignorant ones. As he said that, Lin Xian waved his hand. Xiao Wu, come out. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.